Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is BMT coming at you again, and we're going to definitely be going over some stuff that I definitely wanted to be going over. Right now, we are doing a minor little upload or upboot of a few things, so I don't want y'all to be too alarmed because this is just something that we're just trying to do and get done. Right now, I do apologize for the technical difficulties, but I wanted to actually sit down and talk with you guys about something that's very near and dear to my heart. I am a survivor of domestic abuse as well as sexual abuse. I am not ashamed to talk about it as a black man. I wanted to talk about these things, to actually go over these things, um, because these things are very, very potent towards the building as well as the destruction of our community. Too long that we dodge these kind of things. We like to talk about sexual gain. We like to talk about doggone how to get over on men and women. We like to talk about a lot of stuff. I watch the conversations about the gender wars. I watch the conversations about drugs and different other stuff and different types of other abuses. But we don't like to talk about the body count that these things have imposed. I'm addressing this as BMT. I'm actually addressing this as Joe. Why? Because this one is hits close to home. I remember for me, the first time I was abused, it was at the age of 8. Sad thing about it is nobody I see likes to talk about these kind of sensitive topics. Why? Because that means they have to look in the mirror at the demons that they done. I don't like to sugarcoat, and I don't like to sneak this. I don't like to doggone go around and have to run around and hopefully pray that certain stuff will get better. I like to call things out for what they are. And see, the problem with that is we have it where some people rather run away or not talk about it or keep it as a family hidden secret. We can't keep on doing that inside of this community. We have a lot of that going on where honestly it has led to a lot of dangers, a lot of harm. And literally, if we don't talk about it, then who will? You can't keep on counting things and saying that literally different communities, different other franchisements of people, but nobody actually wants to go in and get at it. So I said, what I will do is I will go ahead and I will address it. I will talk about it from the pedophiles of the community to I will talk about the what's up, Jay? To I will talk about the people who have domestic abuse, to the people who actually just do bullying, to different assortment of stuff, to cyber stalking, to harassment, sexual abuse, all that. Nobody wants to talk about these things because they make people feel good. So I'm going to do that. I don't want to sneak this. I want to call out everything going on here because honestly, you know what? Hey, if you're not gonna talk about abuse, or you ain't gonna talk about anything about abuse month, please, 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 miss me with the false narrative of what we gonna do about. No, nigga, what you gonna do about it? I've been fighting this fight for almost 3 to 4 years now. I've been fighting this fight for almost 3 to 4 years on my platform talking about this type of shit. I like to have my fun, but I keep it 100. So you know what I'm saying? I definitely, this one is going to be striking close to home. I'm going to talk about some sensitive stuff. Right now, we're just getting some stuff squared away so that way people can understand where we're coming from. I don't want to mislead people when it comes to these types of things. We have a lot of people. We have a lot of people. Shout out to D. Darrell. I remember we talked about it when we talked about predatory relationships. A lot of people didn't want to speak on that. This is not just a men's thing. This is a women's thing, children's thing. People, I've seen a lot of different type of abuse going in the community, and nobody wanted to talk about it. So now you have it where men and women are addressing it. Men and women are talking about it. Oh wait, see the gossiping gone. Well, when we ever listen, man, I don't care for y'all agendas. I don't care for what y'all do. When you're grown, that's on you. But when you don't want to talk about how some people put themselves into these situations or scenarios and some people don't know how to properly get out. Why didn't you just leave? Oh, okay. So why didn't you just leave? You know what I'm saying? We have these things going on right now, man. We have these things been going on for a while now. And because nobody wants to address it, that's a problem. That's a problem. We got to ask the question. So, you know what? If you have these type of dark issues going on, are you going back to the abuser? Hang on, y'all. Let me actually like I said, I know a lot of stuff is going on. So I actually want to go get into a more comfortable room. I'm about to hit some. I'm at 690. I'm at doggone 619. I'm at 17,693. What? I'm about to hit what? 17? Goddamn. Okay, so let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and move to a. Let me go ahead and do that. Let me drop the link real quick. Listen, I do not. I'm only now those who I know I invited personally. This is not an open panel. This is not an open panel. I'm not doing open panel. I'm only sending it out to those I know I formally invited. So if you know I did not formally invite you, please, you'll just be sitting down there. You just be sitting down there. This is something I have for specific people that I called up, but I wanted them to talk about abuse. Some of y'all, no, I don't. I don't need that. I just don't need that. So I know the people that have been addressing abuse and their issues. That's for them. We need to talk about this. Any of y'all that got shit going on social media that don't got shit to do with what the fuck I'm talking about right now. Like I said, we see a lot of this going on, and I'm just calling it out. So I'm definitely for the one that's actually I'm just gonna get it I'm get into it. You know what I'm saying? We do have some people that have been in a relationship that they should have not been in. What's up? What's
Good
up,
morning.
Jake?
Good morning.
Morning.
How you be?
I'm all right. I'm going to be talking about pedophiles. I'm going to be talking about dog abusers, talking about domestic abuse, mental abuse, and subjugation of abuse going on. So
Yep.
I'm be on a whole slew of things that have been
You know,
going
I have a
on.
lot to say on that subject.
I know, and so like I said, I think I did. I send it to Healthy. I'm not sure if I sent it Healthy.
Healthy's in
I
the
sent.
chat.
I know he can see it. That's what I'm saying. He can see it. I'm gonna, like I said, I got to switch over to my other computer, and then after that, switch over to my other computer. Um, give me about 15 seconds. Hang on, give me 15 seconds, y'all. Let me switch to my other computer. There we go. There we go. So I didn't want to. I like to
You
be.
don't want me to turn my camera on right now.
That's fine. That's fine. But I definitely wanted to get in on this one. When it comes to addressing abuse, especially here in the community. You know what I'm saying? Had it been something that was dealing uh, with y'all were so up in motion about finding out who was gay and also finding out about we're going to talk about all that. Y'all want to find out about the gays. Y'all wanted to find out about the woman that dated a 15-year-old. I'm gonna talk about all of that. We'll go talking about all of
Got
that.
all the energy in the world for that, but not for the abusive uncles.
Oh, but we also have it where a lot of women are also out there sleeping with children. Women and men are sleeping with children. I'll never forget that. I'm a person that was forced to sleep with adult women. They don't get any repercussion. Uncle is always the easiest one to blame. He's always the easiest one.
But I
We
think
also
part of
know
the
about we don't
issue,
talk about
I think part of the issue, and I'm not talking, not necessarily your
no.
specific thing, but I think part of the issue as far as being sleeping with adult women, and a lot of men don't recognize that. Why I'm echoing very badly. Um, okay, I don't know if that's on your side or my side, but anyway, um, a lot of men
Your
don't
side.
recognize it as abuse. They'll say, "Oh, like I've known of plenty of men that had a babysitter, and it's like, oh, I was 11 or 12, and my babysitter you know, tried to sleep with me or suck my dick or play with my stuff or whatever." And a lot of men don't recognize it that as abuse. They think it's like, oh, I lost my virginity, and I think that part alone needs to stop, because it's almost like when it happens to a little girl, it's abuse, but when it happens to a boy, it's not considered abuse. You know what
Right.
I mean?
That's actually that no, that's very true in what you're staking on or speaking on. Because honestly, when we look at it, the hindsight of how we view a young man sleeping with a grown woman is taken and received a whole lot differently than how it is perceived for a young girl sleeping with or a man sleeping with a young adult. It's perceived a whole lot differently. It's looked at as a gained prize. It's looked at as a gained prize for that. But see, we don't look at the psychological damage that is actually done to the individual. We don't look at the psychological damage that is done to the individual of that. I to no end. I've seen the movies. I've seen the stuff. I looked at the like that. A woman sleeping with a child is with a child or doing stuff with a young adult is not taken as seriously because that's looked at as a badge of honor. That's looked at as, well, she probably was abused. Well, then okay, then put her in jail and go get her some help. Put her in jail and go get her some help. I think they all should doggone go to the same suffrage. I don't really have no kind of mercy for people sleeping with
And that
minors because ultimately that's something. Uh,
and that's the thing. By the time you're 8, I mean, hell, by the time you're 17, but even especially by the time you're 18, 19, 20, you know damn well, being with an 11-year-old is wrong. Like, let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell me, oh, I didn't know or whatever. But it is definitely a double standard where we saw that yesterday versus if it was the other way around. Like, we've literally sat here and watched people justify, you know it's a 40, almost a 40-year-old man marrying an 18-year-old girl that he knew when she was 16. But
Very
that's
much
okay
true.
though, you know.
That's very much true. That's very much true. Perception, the perception of that is definitely not taken as a serious guide note. It's not taken seriously, and the reason why it's not taken as seriously is for the fact that um, that's looked at as being a man. Look at being this man. It's like look at it being a man. That somehow that's an up. That's like a come up.
Yeah.
That's looked at as a come up. No matter how many women, so long as I'm sleeping with them from 15 on up, then I am actually sowing my oats. It's not taken as a pedophile type a mind state.
Right, it's almost
So
being
the
taken as
abuse.
consensual. And people will argue you up and down to the left and the right that the age of consent is 16, and we've seen it in we've seen it in these spaces over and over and over and over again. They will argue with you until the sun comes up about how 16 is consensual, which always grinds my gears. Even if she's 18, it kind of grinds my gears. Like, what is an 18? I'm 42 years old, and I don't know what I would talk to an 18-year-old about.
I think at this point now, at this point in the leveling of the mindset, we understand that the build on dealing with doggone abusers, as well as people who just like to cause hurt, harm, and pain, has grown to an exponential height. We're joined here by Mimi, Melissa, one of the writers for the BMT network. What's going on? And as well as we also have Healthy. You already know the underboss, one of the writers, as well as the co-host for BMT.
And I've been following Healthy's weight loss journey, and
What's
like he
going
looks
on?
like a
What's going
whole
on, Mimi?
different man these days.
Well, that's what's up. Well, hello to everybody, especially on the panel. Peace to the chat and everyone. Um, just being on this topic, it's really, I agree with both of you guys 100%. Like, I don't understand why, people get infatuated with young or minors for that matter. Um, Granted, the only way I can see it is just the fact that, they're innocent. People love to mess with something that hasn't been touched, that hasn't been tainted, I guess, in a sense. Um, and with kids, with minors, it's just like I said, it's the fact that it's just that they're innocent. They don't know.
That sounds very parasitic, man.
It
That's
is, ain't it?
parasitic in nature. That's
And
some
it's
sick
just the
shit.
fact that they can't say anything. They don't know no better. They look at you as just somebody that is, gonna take care of me or play with me or teach me, or they look at you as these adults that are pretty much just, hey, you know what? I know I'm supposed to go with this person for today. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what's gonna take place or what's gonna happen. And so when you're viewing them and you're looking at them in that kind of light, it's really sad that you have to do that to kids, that you have to expose them to all types of sicknesses and nastiness and, all types of hurt and trauma just because of whatever sick fetish or something that twisted, whatever it is that you got going on in your head. It's really sad. And kids, like I said, I feel so bad for them. I mean, adults too, but mainly the topic is kids. I really feel bad for them just because, like I said, just because of that innocence, just because they don't know better, and the fact that you're using that and using that against them, that's really hurtful. It's really damaging. So
Right.
I completely agree with you guys.
So, one of the things about it, and like I said, we're going to pass it over to Healthy. Healthy. We're looking at addressing the. This is abuse month. we come from a similar background, growing up in hurt, harm, and pain. That's just a normal thing. They say, "Man up," get used to it. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, well, I grew up in domestic violence myself. Well, my thing was family. My mother and grandfather got into it a lot, so I grew up watching that. You know how them old niggas is pulling out shotguns at any given moment.
That's not funny, but it is.
My grandfather was one of them. Get off my land, that type of shit.
Right.
I grew up seeing that, man. So it is what it is, man. I just make sure I don't perpetuate that in my relationship because it can happen. I can click just like my grandfather, but got to keep the devil in the hole and work on yourself. That's what you got to do at all times.
I wanna speak at that.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a very hostile and abusive home.
Mm-hmm.
I almost viewed that as normal. It was normal for me.
Yeah.
Do you think people pass that to the next? So, like, I'm not saying you and healthy, but I'm saying, like, do you think people pass that on to their current relationships?
They can.
Oh yeah. I mean,
definitely
men and women. Yeah, men and women.
Especially if you think it's normal. Oh yeah.
It's normal. Yeah.
So I say you got to be conscious of it. Men, we have to be conscious of that if we grew up in that environment. We got to be conscious of that. You got to do that.
I would look at it like this. Men, that becomes a second cognitive of, okay, so we always have that snap off Hulk meter.
Mm-hmm.
Females go look for that environment to go breed in.
Mm-hmm.
Females, y'all look for that environment to go breed in. Because that's normal. That's actually a normal toxic volcanic environment for y'all. So y'all are like, oh shit, I could thrive with these type of people because shit.
Because I'm used to it. Yeah.
I'm used to it. So it innately genetically inhibits in the back of us. I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't have some snap off moments in my household.
Yeah, me too.
Where you know what? Mimi said, you gotta go.
You gotta go for a ride.
You gotta go for a ride. Kids over you. Hey, buddy. That's
what I learned to do. It works for me.
But I think, and see, that's the thing. I mean, if you're not inherently abusive, that's one thing. I mean, when you're married or when you're living with someone, I mean, especially for a long period of time, I mean, we lose just us as humans in general. Like when nobody has a perfect relationship. Nobody. And if they say they do, they're lying. So, I mean, I think what it is you as a person, and I'm not accusing anyone of doing anything on the panel or in the chat, but you as a person need to know how to control your emotions. And see, I lived with a person who was a drunk abuser. He was cool as hell when he was sober. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I say that to this day, I would say that I loved that man when he was sober. But when he started drinking, and unfortunately he was an alcoholic on top of that. So that means he drank often and a lot, So when he would drink is when, and I would say it would be like you could literally see the change in his eye. You know what I'm saying? Like you could see his eyes change when he would, be in his zone. And that's what I'm saying. So like you said, like you guys were saying like, hey, you know what? Instead of getting to that point saying, let me go take a walk, he inherently decided to start beating my ass or start screaming at me or start disrespecting me or whatever, the case may be.
Mm-hmm. Right. I have learned from being with my wife for 16 years that it's not important for me to win every fight. It's not important.
Absolutely. Sometimes, and that's on both sides. Sometimes it's cool to be like, okay, and you know what? And even with an apology, there's been times where I've apologized, even when I was married. The man that was abusive to, just for clarity, the man that was abusive to me is not the man that I was married to. But even when I was married, it was like there were times I apologized and I knew he was dead the fuck wrong. It's like, hey, you know what? I'm sorry, my bad. You know what I mean? Just to keep the peace in the house.
Yeah, I'm just conscious of the fact that the sisters can be emotional and they can say certain things, and we can't match that energy. We can't do that, fellas. Not in our own household with somebody we're supposed to be protecting. So can't do that.
One of the things about
go for a ride, smoke one, relax.
Right.
So one of the things I'm going to go over for the Abuse Month of Awareness is let's see. I think this is the
Blur Monster. You could shut the fuck up on the road. I'm about to throw you off the chat. He's just talking some dumb shit. He's probably an abuser himself.
Oh shit!
But go ahead.
So we're gonna go ahead and
red pill rage ass nigga.
Let me see. Okay, so right now they're trying to inhibit me. Okay, I'm trying to. The video that was sent to me was supposed to be playing was from Google seems to be down. It's crazy. But I wanted to go over one of the biggest issues that we do have going on was we have going on is that when it comes to abuse of dealing with hang on.
And while you're looking it up, I find it interesting that again, even in the comments, how people are pretty much blaming the woman instead of blaming the person that's like doing the hitting. Like it's the mental gymnastics is mind-boggling to me.
Once you start getting physical, homeboy, you lost. Once you start getting physical with your woman,
that's what I'm saying. It's like it doesn't matter.
It's real nigga shit.
It doesn't matter. It's like the mental gymnastics that people play is mind-boggling to me. Oh well, she should have done this. Why were you with her? Why did you stay?
Don't focus on the chat. Can y'all see the screen?
No, I'm not focused on the chat, but I noticed there's quite a few comments where, like I said, people are blaming the person that's getting hit instead of the person that's doing the hitting.
I'm gonna don't worry. I'm gonna be snatching wrenches after today. I'm also gonna be formulating my stuff because, like I said,
they cutting up like that.
Oh, nigga, they like I said, I've been watching y'all how y'all been twerking and jerking in different chats and shit. Y'all are gluttons for punishment. So I'm like, it's best.
BMT.
I need to start distancing myself.
That's what goes on in this space. You see this in this space.
Right.
I watch from the clouds.
We had a real talk.
That's what goes on in this space.
I'm doing my ratcheting tonight. Can y'all see what I see with the little girl sitting in the chair? Can y'all see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
What's going on? What's going on, man?
So we're gonna go over this video.
That's it.
All right, so we have it here with Brother Kane, Brother Michelle.
Peace, y'all. Peace.
So let's go ahead and get into this video right.
Peace to the panel.
Peace.
Peace to the chat. Let's see what we got going on.
Anybody else?
This shit look fucked up from the get-go.
Oh, I can hide it up, boo.
This shit look crazy, man.
You don't know what's up. Talk about step my hyper shit up, sit the fuck down. I ain't gotta
shut your little
is that a child?
Motherfucking baby kid ass down somewhere. Cause y'all niggas don't have no idea about life. You couldn't even buy yourself a fucking Happy Meal. Sit down somewhere. Y'all always want to pop and flex on motherfucking Instagram like this shit cool. Until niggas see about you in real life. Ain't nobody playing with you but you. I promise you that. Little ass fucking kids. You need to stay in the child's place, get your fucking education and learn something. Learn something instead of throwing your fucking life away. fucking beanie bop or want to say something because you on somebody live and think it's gonna be cool. Sit your ass down. So have several seats on that Maceo shit. You don't even know who Maceo is. Ho, sit down. Okay?
Yep, she surely is. Get her ass whooped. If she gonna get her ass whooped again, she talk shit again. And if she run away again, she gonna get her ass whooped again. If she do the shit again, she gonna get her ass whooped again. I don't play that shit. You can get away with murder. I would have had your ass handcuffed to your fucking bed. Fuck around with me. Oh, you gotta pee? Okay. Unhandcuffed you, take your ass to the bathroom like you in jail.
Wow.
Oh, she on the way to her next ass whooping and act work.
Ooh. Girl.
You ready to take
She already a runaway.
Because I got your live on my phone.
This shit's silly, man. This is crazy as fuck.
That part. That way.
Yep, her mama on OnlyFans. Light bright shorty.
2 eyes.
Wow.
Hold on.
She looks just like that bitch.
BMT, pause.
You got 3 kids and they take care of now one of them.
Right.
She told her own daughter to kill herself. That she ain't gonna kill.
I want y'all to understand. If you are squeamish,
BMT, that's what I'm saying.
this is a black home with a black woman and a black man and a child that literally is sitting there. Y'all think that the devil is always the white man.
No, hold
We
on,
be our own worst
BMT, hold on.
enemies.
What are we watching right now? That's all. What is the backdrop to this story?
You're watching.
Where's the mother
What's
at?
going on?
What are you watching?
No,
The mother's the one
with
holding the camera.
The mother's the one with the camera. The mother's the one with the camera. But what are we watching happen here, right?
You're watching abuse, and you're watching pain right now. We're watching abuse in its purest form, from the physical.
Sound like she got caught doing some bullshit on live.
No, it
sound like she got caught doing some bullshit online.
That's what I'm saying, BMT. It could definitely be abuse, but what is the scenario? Why is they doing this right now? What is the purpose? Why did this happen? What did the little girl do?
It sounds like the daughter. It sounds like maybe she was showing her ass on.
Yeah, she was doing some shit online
or something like
that.
that.
What it sound like.
So
yeah, this shit crazy as fuck though.
But
why are they recording? That's abuse, no.
Right.
No. I could. Go ahead, BMT. Go ahead.
I mean, here's the question: what would make the child want to run away from home that many times?
That's what I'm saying. She already running away.
Abuse.
If you run away and I beat your ass, and then I beat your ass some more, and then you run away, and then I bring you back just to beat your ass. I mean, damn! I could have sworn Ludacris made a whole damn song called "Run Away."
I wonder if that's her father. I wonder if that's her real father.
No, but it's two
that is her
sides.
real dad. That's her biological
little
father.
Girl.
Wow.
No, it's two sides to this. It's two sides to this. Because what I'm trying to say is that's what I'm saying. It's like a double-edged sword when it comes to raising children. In this day and time, it's a double-edged sword.
Now here's the thing
about it.
Now here's the thing about it. So let's look at it like this. I want to ask a question. If there's two sides to it, in the eyes of the person stepping on the outside, let's take ourselves out of our black skin. How do you think us, if we were to walk up as child services, as doggone a teacher, as a mailman, as a lawnmower person, as a census worker, how do you explain this to us? How do you explain it to us? We're just walking up, sitting there, pulling up a chair.
What I'm trying to figure out.
You walking by their house and they're in the garage doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck going on?
I'm sorry, but no matter how we try to play it out.
What is the backdrop? What did she do?
She must have did something crazy on live on Facebook. She must was twerking or something. You know what little girls be doing that crazy shit on online.
You're gonna have a hard time.
Because BMT,
but I don't think this is worth that shit.
Because BMT, I just watched a video where a girl was getting her ass bust by her moms because she was 14 and she was out there sleeping with dudes. And the mother was busting ass. She had her in the corner screaming. And the mother's like, how old are you? And she's like, I'm 14. And the mother got on the camera on her live. She went live on her daughter's channel.
I gotta ask the sisters, man.
My daughter's 14. My daughter's 14. She will not be out here fucking. She will not be out here doing none of that shit. For all you do this in her chat box and her DMs, hollering at my daughter.
Remember that?
Will not, and the daughter's in the corner. I just seen this like yesterday. Daughter busting her daughter ass. So it's like, what do we want as parents? It's a difficult time. If you have kids, and I have kids, it's a difficult time to raise your kids.
But you have to get smart.
But does that ever work? I gotta ask the sisters. Does that ever work with the daughters? Does that work?
Go ahead, Michelle.
You have to be smart. The punishment has to fit the crime. That at the end of the day, the first question you have to ask yourself is, why does the 14-year-old daughter have access to the internet? Why does she have access to the internet at all?
No, I understand that. But right now, especially with our kids having to do school through online, they have access. Because I've had my teachers call me. Where they complaining about what goes on in the classroom. The kids is online in the classroom. They got cell phone. If you have access right now, if you have a cell phone, the only way for you to have a cell phone. I remember back in the day we had flip phones. Flip phones. If you had a flip phone, you had no access to the internet. Right now, if you get a smartphone, the only way your phone will work is if you have a plan where you have internet. So if your kid has a cell phone, they have access to internet.
She'll be the only girl in the classroom without the internet.
Listen, I gotta be real.
Unsupervised internet.
Right now, you have to have internet.
But
I get that. You have to have internet. That's like saying your child has to go outside the house. But at the same time, smart parenting is realizing that you still need to supervise your child, and you can restrict access to what they are able to access on the internet. You can actually put cameras in your house so that you know what your child is doing while they're in your house.
So what punishment would fit this?
Kids have internet access
in your opinion.
Kids have internet access at school. They have internet access on their friend's phone. That's kind of irrelevant.
That's exactly what I was saying, Jay. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying, Jay, because that's what I'm saying. My kids, they sent them home with a laptop.
But here's the problem. See, this is
the only thing I'm saying is I have friends who have teenage daughters. I have teenage daughters. The long and short of it was very simple. You know something? When you're on your cell phone, when you're on the computer, I have access to tools so that I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. My friends' parents, their friends' parents knew what they were doing. We supervised our children when they were online. And at the end of the day, when you sit up there and you want to expose your child on the internet because they were doing something on the internet, what are you accomplishing? You're making yourself feel what? No. The only thing I did was, there were times in which I literally made it so that they could not recharge their phones. Literally, it was like, okay, you want to?
I understand what you're saying in the show, but that goes back to black people.
I gotta get back to the video. So I'm going back to the video.
Yeah, you go back to the video, but what I'm trying to say, is
is
that black people like airing out their laundry.
I'm kind of glad that
video got me sick to my stomach. They ain't even hit her yet.
Like I said,
crazy.
Some things don't come to the dark until the person that is getting inflicted the pain starts inflicting the pain on other people.
2-parent household, and people talking shit about people that was raised by their mother. This 2-parent household here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a 2-parent household. That's what I'm saying.
We going back,
and I've been witness
talking that shit.
I bear witness to this. Where I
back
knew
to
a
play
lot
the
of
movie.
people
I
that had
told you I got
both
about
their
to
parents there. Nah, go ahead, DNC. My bad. Go ahead.
Are y'all guys ready? Sorry, sir.
Got it.
First place. Bitch, wrap it up and use a rubber. How about that?
Stop being a hoe.
Wow.
Wow.
That always helps.
Uh-oh.
Verbal abuse.
Uh-oh.
What else y'all want to know?
No, we can't say it's verbal abuse.
I didn't know
We can't
verbal.
say
Look,
verbal
man, look
abuse.
at her. She
That's what she's
distraught.
doing.
It broke that girl all the way down.
If that ain't verbal,
And they ain't even hit her yet.
I mean, shit. Goddamn, bro.
She fucked up and they ain't even hit her yet.
Color purple is real.
Girl, they talking about the ponytail in the corner of the goddamn garage.
Oh, they talk about that oxtail. It's a fat oxtail, but it's an oxtail.
Can you zoom?
See how they do it? That's verbal abuse, bro. That's verbal abuse, bro.
Oxtail with the water for about 3.5 hours with some onion and seasoning.
And,
Man, that
and
shit
they
gonna fall
recording that shit.
Tired.
Hold on, nah,
Fuck
bro.
that girl
Bro,
up
that's
mentally.
talking. You got to get to the chopper.
Walking
No, you
around
got to
with
get to the
a
chopper, bro. With that. You
like
got to get
it's
to the
hot
chopper.
outside. Like you in Kill Bill.
Right, it's like 90 degrees out this bitch. I was just about to say that. The fuck you trying to do?
Damn.
Why the fuck your lace is pink? What are those?
Wow, bro.
Turkey, club. Take them off there, girl.
Wow. What a reader. This shit crazy.
I know you hot.
She ain't got no choice but to be hot.
I will let you in on AC. But
Look at that leg going 1,000 miles per minute.
You want some AC? You want some water?
That's sadistic.
Make sure you hydrated.
What I'm saying, that shit, man.
They talking about she like
They on some other shit.
Nah, hold on, BMT. Pause it for a second. Pause it for a second.
Stop it. No. No.
Damn, tag little baby in this shit. See if
This shit crazy, Joe. This shit crazy, bro.
No. I
See
want
the bigger picture.
I want to get
right.
I got
Fuck
3
outta
more
here.
movies.
Oh my god.
But she obviously don't know. Being thirsty. Thirsty as fuck for attention, boy. You sure you don't want no water?
With your thirsty ass.
Torturing that girl.
How many boyfriends you done had in the past month? Because I swear every time I go on your shit, you talk about another nigga. Or I'm single again.
You said you only had 5?
Uh-oh.
I see why she keep running away.
Right. All her hoes. I know you said that.
Uh-oh.
Your pimp game ain't that strong yet. I know that.
Yeah.
You can't follow simple instructions. There ain't no way in hell you're going to be able to follow the rules of the game and stick to the script.
Girl, you gonna get your ass shot out here in the streets.
Wow. There you go.
Moving like a goofy. Like a straight goofy.
And you shut the fuck up, whoever the hell you are. You call me a fat bitch all you want to. I just had a baby. I don't give a fuck. I love myself. And this fat bitch has everything. I take care of myself. I take care of my kids. So
That baby gonna run away too.
doing better than this one right here.
This shit crazy.
The weight gonna come off, boo.
Uh-oh.
The weight gonna come off.
Why is
You can't coach stupid.
Okay.
Wow.
I'd rather be that than this.
Wow.
Look out here looking crazy.
Man, we done with this shit, man. Shut that bitch down.
You got anything else to say? You gonna keep it real?
Of course not. Fake motherfuckers will never keep it real. Remember that. Once you fake, you always fake.
Right. Over and out.
The issue is that they talking to her like an adult and not a child.
verbal abuse is
That's
real,
the
man?
issue right there.
That shit real.
I mean,
They talking to her like a bitch out in the street. You know what
They
I'm
ain't
saying?
even hit her. They ain't even hit her, and she broke down like that.
Nah, but hold on. Hold on. Wait a second. Y'all got to get to the chopper. Because what do y'all want to do? I'm asking the panel. What would y'all have rather her do? Would y'all have rather her?
I wouldn't have recorded it for one.
Or
For starters.
No, the recording part. I got a problem with that. That
That's
part I got
embarrassing.
a problem with. But them recording
All her
it,
friends gonna see
them
that shit.
recording and put it. That no, but that goes to show that her parents is young. Her parents is young and they still wouldn't be part
Her
of
parents are
social
trash.
media. That's what you see happening on social media. No, her parents is young and they wouldn't be part of social media. But what I'm trying to say,
Hey, gone.
But what I'm trying to say,
How
what
the
did
parents?
y'all rather? No, if we didn't get to see this, hold on, BMT. If we didn't get to see this, would y'all have rather her parents do what they did or beat her ass?
Neither.
No, they said they beat her ass. They said that. We
Oh,
just
so
didn't see it
that
on
was
camera.
after the beating? Jesus.
Yeah.
Multiple
I don't know if they beat her ass. If they beat her ass, then did this,
Hey,
they
you
foul.
really doing
They
that?
just foul parents. They foul parents.
Here's the
If
thing.
they beat
You
her
just
ass,
wait.
then
So
did this,
so
they
just
foul.
called the girl a. They just called the girl a hoe, a
Mhm.
bitch, stupid,
Right.
and they talk all kinds of shit
Right.
about her.
And she's already a
And somehow,
runaway. She's already running away from home.
No, but this is what I'm trying to say. But this is what I'm trying to say.
That
I
was
get
not
that part.
discipline. That was not discipline. That was not disciplining a child.
Bill,
I don't know,
No,
man.
I get what y'all saying. I get what y'all saying.
That was
sometimes
not discipline.
we make
That
our
was
own
not discipline.
demons. That was not
Yeah, I
discipline.
feel you,
If
BMT.
you
That's what
say
I'm saying.
that's what I said.
That's what.
Some
No,
people are so used to abuse. See, I always hear this in these spaces. Man, if there's two parents in the home, then guess what?
no,
There'll
no.
be
But
some
that's
type
not what
of
I'm saying. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying,
man.
BMT. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you was to find when your daughter's doing what she did, how would you handle it? I'm asking you as a man, how would you handle it? If
I'm
that's
not
what you
about
found
to
out
sit
your daughter
there
did, how would you handle it?
bitch and trash on my kid for the enjoyment of social media. That's the first damn thing. That was fine.
No, that's what I'm saying. I feel that. I feel you on that part. I stand with you on that. I disagree with them putting it on the line. They didn't have to do that online. But is that not what happens? If you're dealing with your child, that's something that's supposed to be behind closed doors. This is why I say this is one of the main problems black people
You know,
do.
I'm glad. You
Black
know what?
people
I
always want to
think
air out
I
their
think
laundry for views.
I think from what's been going on and from what I've been seeing or from what it looks like is obviously she was running out there, she was being fast, she was posting stuff, she was doing stuff obviously that kids should not be doing. I don't know her age. She looks about maybe 14, 15, somewhere up in that range.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she ended up getting caught out. Somebody told on her or parents found out something. Now, how they went about it, yeah, you're absolutely right. That was garbage because nobody should be sitting there talking about their child. Oh, you bitch this and you that. Why are you sitting here cussing at them for
Yeah.
what? Why are you talking to them in that
Verbal
manner?
No,
abuse.
that's
But
but that's
exactly,
gonna
and
happen.
that's
That's
to
gonna
the
happen. For the sister that's
but
talking, that's gonna happen. But the shitty part was for y'all to video it and put it out there. Like we're gonna take a
that's what I'm
video and put
saying.
it
Yeah, I
out
grew up
there.
in that environment, so I can
That's where it
recognize it. I
They
became
know
are
verbal
trash.
abuse when I hear it.
That's where it
Right.
became
they
trash.
Knowing
was
somebody mind
already
fucking. I
putting
know this shit.
themselves out there like that. So parents feel, okay, well, you know what? Since you want to be grown, since you want to do this, I'm gonna go ahead and treat you like such, but I'm gonna let the world see you for what it is. You're not this age, you're not this, you're not that. You living under my roof, you still getting this, you still getting that, your ass is still in school. I get that. But like I said, there's a way you should go about doing it. But sitting there trash talking them, beating them, stomping them, doing all that excess shit, that's not necessary. There's a way you can go about disciplining your child. Hey, you know what? This is my daughter right here. She's not this age. She's done such and such, and she's doing this. I got her doing some push-ups. I got her doing this. I got her doing that, whatever. But sitting here trying to psychologically tear her behind down to make her feel worse than what she already does after y'all already physically did whatever it is that y'all thought y'all needed to do to me, that's traumatic. That is damaging.
No, I totally
And
agree.
what are you?
I
And like I
totally
said, and
agree.
for the parents that are sitting there doing that, I don't understand what they're getting out of it. I mean, I don't know how they were brought up, but that's probably part of the reason. They were probably brought up in a manner where, okay, you know what? I stepped out of line. I got punched in my throat.
No,
You know what I'm saying? I got kicked in my
no,
chest. So that's probably,
I
huh?
totally agree with the sister. I totally
Yeah,
agree with the sister. But that's the era that we're living in right now. And a lot of these parents
exactly.
that are parents, a lot of these parents that are parents, they're still young. So they're going through what's going on with their kids in this era. Because I saw that, like I said, like I
Being
always tell
young
people, I
is
saw that in my
no
era, where it was
being
kids
young
having
is
kids.
no
So
excuse.
now
I
that
will
their
say it like
parents is
this.
of a
They're at
certain
least
age,
28 years old. Everyone in that video was at least 28 years of age. So
that's still young. That's still
I'm gonna
young.
say it like this. I'm still gonna
28
say
is
it like
still
this.
young. 28, you
I'm
still doing dumb
assuming.
shit. 28, you
Okay.
still doing dumb shit in the show.
Okay. Let's suppose you assumed that this mother was 14 when she had this child. Perhaps she was 20 and she's 34. That's still young. What if she was 30 when she had this child and she's 44? That's still young. Let's stop making excuses.
No.
That was bullshit.
At 44, at 44 you can't. At 44 you can't pull that same card. If you was 20 something and you 34, at 34,
So
you
when do
really
we
coming together. Like you understand certain shit. But we got to remember, this is the era that we living in right now. The era that we live in, this is a social media era. People ain't outside talking shit. People's online talking shit. This is the era that we live in.
So
And that's when you saw the dude looking at the camera. When you saw the dude looking at the camera.
Is this considered child abuse or
My
not?
bad, I didn't hear you.
Is this considered child abuse?
In
This
this,
is child
Is this a crime? Is this a crime?
somebody
Is this a
put that
crime?
out there, asses would be engaged.
right now. If you saying
Their
that,
dumbasses
listen,
in
I
this
would,
era, that is
custody of
considered
their
child
child.
abuse.
I mean,
In this
put
era,
that
that's
shit on
considered
I would
camera.
have
child
to
abuse.
check.
In my era,
Put one.
in my era, that shit was all good. In my era, that shit was all good.
Everybody in the chat, I want to ask right now. Everybody in the chat, put an A if that was abuse. Put a D if that was discipline. If that was discipline, please put a D. If that was doggone abuse, please put an A.
What would Child Protective
Okay,
Services say? That's the question.
And the flip
Child
side to
Protective
that,
Services would probably take that child. There was no excuse for what they did.
but this is what I'm
There's
trying
no
to
excuse
say.
for that verbal
This is
abuse.
what I'm trying to say. The era that we in right now, they will step in. The era that we live in right now, they will
See,
step in. When I was coming
but
up,
you're talking
that was
about an
cool.
abusive era, Kane.
You talking about, but I'm saying you talking about people
See,
that
you're
came
talking
from that
about an
era,
abusive
people that came
era.
from that. But the problem is, like I said, even with my era, still, when people, I know a lot of people's online right now. Nobody want to keep it real, because that's what goes on with the online what we live in right now. People don't keep it real. If your daughter was to come to you with that, how would you handle it? But I'm saying my issue with them is putting it. Hold on, BMT.
No, Cambridge, you're doing a lot of tapping on that. So where was the discipline in zooming up on her, showing her head and the ponytail on the ground and all that stuff? Where was the discipline in that? Because they were just humiliating her.
No, but BMT, that's what I'm saying. That's where my problem comes into play. My problem comes into play when the parents feel like they need to video out of it. That's what I have a problem with.
Okay, what we're saying is, yes, you should have a problem with that. But they were not disciplining her, they were abusing her. And you said in this day and age, nobody wants to keep it real. That's all he kept saying he was doing, was keeping it real.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Once they want to make it a video, it ain't about disciplining no more. If they want to make a video and put it out there, it's not about disciplining the kid no more. They trying to get views. So that goes to show the type of parents that she has. The reason she is the way she is because of her parents. And then they want to shit on her after that because they trained her to be the woman that she is. It came from her parents.
But that's not a woman, that's a child.
Yeah, but this is what happened.
Exactly.
Here's the thing about it. For every action, let's look at this. For every action, there's a reaction. If I'm the father,
exactly,
but I
I'm not
call
bigging
my
up the
daughter,
parents. I'm not bigging up the parents.
No. I listen to you, Kane. So I'm going to address that. If I call my daughters hoes, bitches, and all kind of shit, they go out there in the street and there's some random nigga just come by and say, "Damn, you beautiful. Damn, you cute." She's gonna go to that as a salvation, because if she can't get that kind of comfort and treatment at home, she's gonna go to the streets. But the damn sure ain't home.
Yes.
So
yes. And I blame that on the parents.
No, so that means the parents are fucked up. Evil is what evil is.
And that's
they ain't doing shit.
And that's what happened. And that's
so then it's abuse.
That's what happens.
It's abuse.
That's what happens. That's what happens with a lot of these chicks and dudes. That's what I'm saying when I come in these spaces, in certain spaces, and I'm hearing dudes just try to blame it on the black women. No, I've seen dysfunction come from a family that was black and had the father and mother there.
I mean, come on now.
Real shit.
You know that there is a big internet story of the father who raped his 10-month-old child.
Jesus.
Raped and killed his 10-month-old child. That there's no magic prophylactic like, oh, if the father's in the house, it's going to be beautiful. Some fathers are damn participating in the abuse.
I know that for damn sure.
And we see this. This is what this video is proving. That video you just showed just now, BMT, proves that she was raised in a dysfunctional household, and the people in that household try to hold it to a certain standard that they wasn't on.
Let me go to the second part. Let me get to the second part, Kane. I listen. I gotta get through all this stuff. Oh, there's three. Oh, listen.
Come on.
Somebody has to go to jail.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Go ahead. I'm just so I'm ready, man. Just by looking at that little girl's lifestyle. Her lifestyle is functional. That's why she is the way she is. And they turned around and did a video on her. They did a video on the little girl trying to shame the little girl because they raised that little girl to be the way she is. And then they want to shame her for views.
What else did she lie about?
Shame, that was humiliation. That was humiliation. That wasn't shame. That was humiliation.
Like,
why don't we talk about recent events? Did you just steal the phone? Whose phone did you steal? No. You didn't steal Auntie Miriam's phone. You stole her dead aunt's phone, right?
know that.
Didn't matter whose phone it was? Was it yours? So why'd you take it? Why'd you take it? Oh. So that justifies you stealing it? Yeah? It's okay to steal somebody's phone because you want to text people? Mm-hmm. Right. So it means that you did something wrong.
I already told them I did that. Everybody knows that I took the phone.
Pretty, we're doing shit right now. This is a whole lie. So the whole world can see. So you're gonna redo it.
You know
what? Redo it.
Who cares? Does she love you?
Get your hands away from your face.
Has she treated you with respect?
Get your hands away from your face.
Put your hands away from your face. Put your hands on your lap.
Nah, bro. Nah.
Stop fucking lying! How about you stop doing that? Little ass girl. Little ass girl.
Put your feet on the ground. Do what the fuck I'm telling you to do.
And that's your problem.
Put your hands on your lap.
Hey, come on.
Put your hands on your lap. Put it on your lap. Put your hands on your lap. Put your hands on your lap. Put your hands on your lap. You're not playing that shit. I'll hold them there for you. I'll hold them there for you.
Break my damn
I'll
garage.
hold them there for you. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. And keep your hands on your lap.
I ain't trying to watch
Put
that.
them on your lap.
I'm good on that.
You can't stop that, right? You can't stop that, right? I got more control.
This is sick. This is sick.
You gonna beat me? You can try. You can try.
Get off of me! Get off me!
You can try.
Get off of me!
Put your feet down. Put your feet down. Put your feet down. Put your feet down.
Get off of me!
Put your foot down. You see how you don't want to listen? And you see how not listening makes it harder on yourself?
Get off of
You're not gonna
me.
win. Put your feet down.
BMT, get to the chopper, bro. BMT, get to the chopper, bro. Get to the chopper. Cut that short. Cut that short, bro.
That's enough.
Put your feet down.
Get to the chopper.
Put your feet down.
Get to the chopper, bro.
Put your feet down. Put your feet down.
But you need to watch what the fuck you say. Watch your fucking mouth. Watch your fucking mouth. Watch your mouth. Watch your fucking mouth.
Don't make no damn
Get
sense.
to the chopper.
Oh,
Get to
God.
the chopper, bro. Get to the chopper. BMT. BMT, get to the chopper, bro. Get to the chopper, man. Get to the
Y'all
chopper,
couldn't sit
man.
there and just watch. You know why?
That's too
Because
much,
it
dog.
makes y'all. Hold on. Not too long ago, y'all were talking about this is discipline. This is how we grew up.
Yeah,
This is the way of life. So all of a sudden, hold up now. I like to listen to what y'all say. Y'all said this was, what did she do? Y'all like to say if we go back to 2-parent home, you know, the problems will go away. I listened to y'all for fucking 4 years in this goddamn shitty ass space, preach this dumbass gospel. But y'all can't sit still for 15 minutes and listen to a girl scream. That ain't no white man doing that shit.
That shit hard to hear, bro.
That's hard to hear, is it not? Is it not?
Right, you're absolutely right. But the thing is, people are in the comments, in your chat, defending this shit. That's what's fucked up. People are defending this shit.
No, it's not. Nah, no. This is what I'm trying to say. You're not getting it. This is, yo, a lot of black, yo,
I'm showing y'all what goes on in other countries and how things play out. Y'all are now starting to get a little bit timid about this.
That's what I'm saying. But niggas be talking about the sisters. This is shit they be going through when they're young. MGTOW ass niggas, y'all be talking about the sisters. This is shit they go through when they're young. Y'all niggas gotta understand that shit, dog.
Yo,
some
they
real
not
nigga shit.
understanding.
Let's do surreal talk, as y'all
Everybody
say.
on the panel, they not understanding. This is
Go
real
ahead and
shit.
get this. So
This
now
is
you
real
see it for real. Y'all don't like it. It makes y'all feel comfortable, huh? Back in the 1950s, we had it all so good. I listened to y'all. Y'all couldn't even sit for 15 minutes. Y'all feeling uncomfortable. Why? Because you understand this is the dirty secrets that go on behind closed doors.
Yeah. You're right.
Here, real talk.
No,
you know,
I like
BMT,
making y'all
the
feel
reason that
comfortable
shit
walking
goes,
my hill.
the reason BMT, the reason that shit is going down.
What is the reason?
The reason BMT, the reason that type of shit happens, because this is, especially in this country, this is what a lot of black people came from. They came from them slavery moments where motherfuckers was getting beat.
Oh wait,
where motherfuckers was getting beat, even in the
slavery?
Caribbean. Come on, family.
Back in
Come
the
on,
day,
family
they'll
is
ship
from the
you up
Caribbean.
north.
But even my family's from the Caribbean. In the Caribbean, we used to get our ass whooped. This ain't nothing new. No, we're not blaming
in all
slavery
cultures,
because, like I
kids
said,
got
my family
disciplined.
is from the Caribbean.
No, in
Yeah,
all
they got
cultures,
discipline back in the
kids
day.
got disciplined. No, don't make that excuse. In all cultures, kids got disciplined. That was not discipline. That was humiliation.
They
and a
was
lot of
breaking
times,
her spirit. They broke her spirit. See what I'm saying?
yes,
Yeah.
that in a lot of
that's a whole nother ball game, bro.
No, y'all look at
but in the United States,
y'all
our
look at
parents.
it.
Break no child spirit.
Hold on, no.
Well, they do
Y'all
that
look
at.
at,
Could
y'all
you
look
let
at
me
it as
speak for a
humiliation.
minute,
No,
please, without it being interrupted? Excuse me, let me speak.
Go ahead. Go ahead and turn the show.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that, unfortunately, in our culture, in the 1960s, 1970s, and beyond, back in the day, our parents tried to break our spirit to save our lives. They thought that if we were too uppity, that we would die. So they tried to break our spirits so that we would not go out in the street and be an Emmett Till. They thought they were protecting us. We don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah, I thought we grew from that. I thought it was keep hope alive and all that shit.
But Michelle,
I have a dream and all that. So we got out of that.
This goes on, but Michelle, this goes on in the Caribbean too. This goes on in the Caribbean too. They do the same thing to their kids in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
My family's from South America. Most of my
Caribbean too. So that's why.
Yes.
Were they breaking the child's spirit?
That's what I'm saying.
That's the question, bro. Was they trying to break your spirit, though? That's the question.
Listen.
But
was they trying to
like
break your spirit?
Where we are right now. Where we are right now.
Nobody arguing about.
But why? But Kane.
No one's trying to argue that a slave
What Kane?
mentality tried to break.
Let me.
Go ahead, BMT. I'm listening.
Kids
I'm
to keep
listening,
them
bro.
alive.
I'm listening, BMT. I'm listening.
Let me get it over to Jay.
Go ahead.
I'll pass it over to Jay. Jay, what you think so far? What do you think so far? What's this we're addressing abuse? I know I don't want to trigger.
I think it's absolutely.
What's going on?
Yes. No. I'm okay, Jeanette.
Go. Jay,
Trying to break their
let Jay talk.
spirit
Let Jay talk.
because they think that's what's going to protect them.
For fuck's sake.
Go ahead, Jay.
Can I talk now?
Yes.
It's okay. I'm gonna need Kane in the show to chill for like 30 seconds. But first of all, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting what's going on. And it's interesting that some of the comments that are defending the behavior, it explains a lot about their personality. I'm just gonna say that. But I will say this: they aren't teaching her why it's wrong, and that's what the issue is, and that's what I think people are missing, is that they're not teaching her why it's wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not saying, listen, you can't do X because of this, you know, because I had some situations with my daughter, and when I broke it down, I didn't yell at her, I didn't scream at her, definitely didn't beat her, but when I broke down why she can't do X or why she can't do Y, she understood. And that goes, and I'm not saying, you know, put you in the corner or whatever, timeout, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Taking a phone doesn't work. It doesn't, because they're gonna get access to the internet somewhere else. They're gonna get it at school. They're gonna get it from one of their friends, whatever. Taking a phone, that shit don't work. Maybe taking the Xbox, that might work, but that's the thing, that stuff don't work. But when you tell them the consequences and you sit down and have a conversation with them, and like, it sounds like they don't talk to her at all, first and foremost. It sounds like they yell and they don't talk. So if you're not teaching your kid the consequences of their actions, you know, and I remember one time, you know, like I said, my daughter's done some things. I'm not, you know, she's probably not as extreme as this young lady, but, you know, I said to her, I said, you know that your father and I could actually get in trouble for the shit that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, really? And I'm like, yes. I say, so this is a lot deeper than just you doing what you do. I said, but we could also get in trouble for it because you're under 18. And then when I told her about predators and all of the things that happen out in the world and happen out in the internet, I was straight up with her. I bet you I didn't have another issue with her after that. You have to tell them the real, period, point blank. You have to tell them the reason why we don't want you to do this is because of X. And usually, at least in my case, that tends to work. People don't listen to you. I know I don't listen to yelling and screaming. If somebody's yelling and screaming, even now as an adult, if someone's yelling and screaming at me, I fucking tune that shit out. I don't listen to that shit. I don't. Even on here in these spaces, like I don't listen to when somebody's screaming or when someone's being unreasonable. But if you sit down and are willing to talk, then okay, I'll at least hear you out, even though you might be wrong. But you can't be loud and wrong. You can be wrong, but you can't be loud and wrong. You know, and
I agree with Jay. I agree with Jay to the fullest. That's one of the number one problems when it comes to the black community. We don't keep it real with our kids. We're not trained to keep it real with our kids.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a few that do that.
Right.
There's only a few. But what Jay is saying right now, there's only a few parents that really do that. We try to teach them some bullshit. We put some bullshit in their air and send them out there in the real world with some bullshit. How you gonna put somebody out there in the real world on some bullshit?
Right, and they too busy calling her hoes and this, that, and the third.
Come on, man. Come on.
And they're calling her hoes and whatnot. Like, who does that?
So we're joined up here. We're joined up here to address abuse month with D. Darrell. D. Darrell, you have the floor. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we need a psychologist on the case. Yeah. This shit here is crazy.
Yeah, I know you've been. Yeah, I can hear you. I know you've been watching a lot of this. The rest of y'all, listen. When the rest of y'all want to go address abuse month, hit me up, and then I will come over there and I will gracefully sit in your chat. I will sit in y'all chat. I don't have time for the trolling shit. I don't have time for the bullshit. Half y'all niggas don't even give a fuck to talk about abuse. So y'all already know.
Because they're abusers themselves.
Y'all don't care to talk about it. I don't care to talk about it. Just talk about it in your own form and fashion.
I wouldn't call it completely abuse.
I'm not making it about just men or just women.
I wouldn't call it complete.
That's abuse. There's no way to try to no, King. That was 20%.
Nah, but
you couldn't even sit
like,
still.
yo,
You couldn't sit still.
Hold on. My question. Hold on, BMT. My question.
Let me go get it over to D-Darrell.
How would you handle the situation? Okay, go ahead, D-Darrell. Go ahead, D-Darrell. You got it.
All right, guys. Appreciate for coming aboard. I'm gonna say this. That was an example of very poor parenting. I've worked and I've contracted with the state of Texas Department of Family Protective Service for over 12 years. In an instance like that, what we're looking at physical abuse, we're looking at psychological abuse, we're looking at verbal abuse. Okay, those would be the three things that they would look at in reviewing this case. Also, in the case of the father slapping the daughter in the face and throwing her down, you can also be looking at some criminal charges, possibly causing injury to a family member. Okay, these are the things that typically happen. I don't care what anybody's saying about supporting the father, this and that. He was trying to do this and that. The reality is that if this was viewed and witnessed by anyone, or this was allegedly reported to CPS, this would be the consequence of that behavior. So I'm going to deal with the reality of what this would be if this was evident in regards to a situation where somebody reported this particular scenario. So that, and also the child would be taken from the home, and unfortunately she would possibly be placed in either a foster care home or hopefully a family member that would probably volunteer to take her in. Unfortunately, by the things that she did in many cases like this, most family members probably would not even bother with a child that has this level of behavior, because they feel that they'll be putting themselves at risk. I mean, everything that he did was wrong. If he would have kept it strictly in a position where it was none of the name calling, but he was lecturing her and you can be intense with your children as far as lecturing them and trying to tell them and instructing them on what they did and did wrong and so forth, and have aggressive language. When you get in a point where you're being physical to the point where you're throwing them down, slapping them in the face, that's not even the same as you taking a belt or a strap or whatever and spanking them or whipping them with them. That was beyond that. That was aggressive. That was a grown man slapping a child in the face. That's assault.
Exactly.
That can be seen. That's assault, or it can be seen as causing. If she has injuries, let's say they found out she had injuries. Okay, bruises to the face, bruises to the legs or thighs, whatever way threw her down. That's a charge. That's a felony in the state of Texas. Legally in the state of Texas, or I don't know what other states, but legally in the state of Texas, you do have the right to discipline your children. You do have the right to spank your children. And my experience in the courtroom, out of the courtroom, and so forth, you have the right to spank them between the areas of the knees and up to their waist. In between that area, you are allowed to spank your child. Anything outside of that and it causes an injury, that's abuse. Simple as that.
Exactly.
So I don't get all of this stuff. I don't get
everything.
Yes, the reason why this brother, and this is what we have to understand, man. This is an example of post-traumatic slave syndrome. Because this is how our ancestors were treated when we were defiant. This is how our ancestors were treated by slave owners and so forth. And we have carried this down, and we have used this type of behavior as the most effective means of controlling our children or other people, because that was happening to us. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't spank your children. because I have spanked mine. But I am not going to slap them in the face
No.
or use all types
You're
of
not trying
things
to
that
break
can be
their
seen
spirit. You're not trying to break
as
their spirit.
Exactly.
No,
causing
no.
extreme
I
pain
understand. I
to the child.
understand.
The purpose
I
the
understand,
purpose
but
of
brother,
spanking, okay, and the way we
no,
talk about
I
when
understand
we use
exactly.
the term, we're using we're using adverse intervention for a negative behavior, okay. The
I
proper way to
understand.
use
I understand exactly. I
corporal
understand.
punishment is as the last resort. And
Exactly.
even as the last resort, you should be teaching lessons, as somebody spoke, I think Gene stated, as far as teaching you why you're not supposed to do this, teaching you the reasons, teaching you the consequences, giving you instruction. If this occur again, this is the proper way to respond to this. This is what will happen if you continue to do this. This is the negative things that can happen, and so forth. You're teaching. If you want to distinguish a behavior, you have to teach the reason why the behavior is not productive and positive for you. But and then you had a mother there. She was yelling and screaming, saying she was just as culpable in the situation. A lot of verbal abuse. You cannot do these things to children repetitively,
Okay.
and then
How does
not expect
how
them to treat other
Could I
people the same way.
intervene?
They're going to
Could I
treat other
redirect?
people
intervene?
the
Could I
same way
intervene,
that you're
please?
raising to treat them. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey,
Real quick
hey,
question.
2 minutes, y'all. 2 minutes, y'all.
Real quick
Okay.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
How does abusing a child, a girl, especially a girl, how does that for having sex or being promiscuous? What is the plan that if you have sex, you're going to get your ass beat? How does that play long term?
It
I mean,
doesn't
she's
play.
going to have to learn to have an intimate
What,
relationship.
yeah.
She's going to have to learn to have an intimate relationship eventually in her life. So
Yes.
if girls are beat for exploring their sexuality, what do you think the long-term repercussions are for the girl, for the woman?
Okay. It could be a variety of things. Okay. For
Okay,
some
I get
girls,
that.
I'm
I get
gonna
that,
look at it
Michelle.
from
I get
all
that, Michelle.
scenarios. Okay.
No, hold on.
For
Hold
some
on. I
women,
get that. I get that,
for
Michelle.
particularly for a lot of girls, particularly if their father is the one using fear as a tactic, a lot of girls will be fearful, or they will go about other ways of being more sneaky in the process of being as far as having sex. But in many instances, when you're trying to use fear to deter the behavior, that's actually going to increase the likelihood that a child would put themselves in negative positions to seek that. And when they're seeking that, they're attempting for a boy or an older man. They're putting themselves in a position to be exploited by an older guy or an older male. That's basically what they're basically doing, because
So,
they're basically
so
being
my
in
question.
some ways conflictual
So
with
my
their
question.
dad. They're
So my
being
question.
rebellious, and it's like, I'm going to do what I want regardless. He doesn't love me. He doesn't show this towards me. So they're going to seek this from elsewhere, and in many cases they're going to be doing this in a
So my
promiscuous
question.
manner. So it does not
Exactly.
benefit anyone to it's effective ways to use fear, but when you're using fear in a means to try to scare a person that this is something that really isn't it may not be appropriate for their behavior, for their age range. The proper thing would be to teach them, this is the age that you may want to seek this, and these are the type of relationships that you may want to have if you want to engage in sex. Not to tell them, well, if
that
you
means
have sex, I'm gonna beat your
that
ass, I'm
means
gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that.
no.
Because that's not
So that
teaching the
means
child
that
an
means
effective reason why not to do it. You're just mainly using a
that
scare
means
tactic
nothing. That
so
means
that
nothing
that
when
can
hormones
actually
Damn,
when
somewhat
King,
hormones are
delay
popping.
shut
or
up.
repress that particular feeling and behavior. It's not effective. It's effective in the short term, but it's actually not effective in the long term.
Why did everybody get quiet? I mean, I remember when I was 12 years old, our mothers
I didn't
collectively
say
took
nothing.
us to a Planned Parenthood event so that we could see what labor and delivery looked like. And I was like, okay, hold up. Why the hell would anybody put themselves in a position where they'd have to have their genitals cut from, A to B. And I asked a simple question at 12. I said, so people risk going through this so they can have an orgasm. How good is an orgasm? And honestly, it was a very wise person. She wanted to make us understand we shouldn't fear labor, delivery. We shouldn't fear sex. We should want the sex to be a beautiful time in our lives and not be taken advantage of and have it lessened by people who just want to take advantage of. So I think that that's one of the things parents need to know, how to explain sex to their children, that it should be beautiful, and that if
Mature
it's
enough
not
to be doing this, and we understand the effects that they don't have the ability to take care of a child, and it causes other issues within the family. But we have to start teaching this with more logic and look at the long-term effects of us telling a child that. What are the long-term effects? Not the short term, but the long term. That has to be looked at.
obviously, but if we make sex something that's not cheap, sex is not it, sex is not, Mickey D's. It's not a it's not something that should be readily available. It should be something that's beautiful, that takes time, that takes energy, that takes preparation. Then our children are less likely to just wonder how good it is. If they are beating my ass because I want to figure out what they doing, what they enjoying, it's like a kid that wants to realize, hey, I want to drive a car. Then they realize driving a car is actually a responsibility, is actually work. If we bring it into them so that it is not something that we want to beat their asses for trying to enjoy, then maybe we'll stop on all of this promiscuousness, excuse me, all this random sex that's going on in our community.
Exactly.
It's not about love. It's about a physical
And I'm gonna
response.
say this. I don't know who, because I caught the tail end, because I got the text. If anybody in here thinks that man was in the right of what he did, shame on you. As if you're a father, shame on you. And that shows the lack of immaturity and insight. If you thought that was effective parenting skills. Now, did he mean well by? I mean, possibly the reason why, you got to understand, people as parents, a lot of parents, the foundation of how they raise their children is based on how their experience as a child and how they were raised. And then you may tweak it to fit you. And it's obvious to me, this guy was probably treated the same way the way he treated his daughter. He probably was slapped in the face, punched in the face, punched in the stomach. That is not. To be honest with you, if you want to look at, just say the proper way to give corporal punishment, that wasn't even effective corporal punishment. You don't slap somebody in the face.
Now, David, you bring up a good point. We do need to watch the whole video. Now,
the whole video is no, BMT. That's not true. It doesn't even matter what the whole video says. What matters is the aspects. When you look at CPS, if CPS or if any agency of the Department of Family Protective Services, they wouldn't give a damn about the start and the finish. They don't care what they do. They do not care. And I'm gonna repeat this as a professional and expert. I've been dealing with this. I've been contracting with them for 10 years. They don't give a damn if it was 10 seconds of this. They're not looking at the causation. They're looking at the consequence of how you responded to that.
As a parent.
As a parent, they don't give a damn if that child. Let me be honest with you. They don't give a damn if that child hit you. They don't care if the child hit you. They're going to look at the relevant aspects of the scenario is going to be, how did you respond to your child hitting you?
I'm just being honest with
you. We can sit here and talk this and that. That's the reality.
I have had CPS come to my door when I gave my son a whooping, and he had a mark on his leg. Teacher saw him walking into school in shorts. Javon, come here. Come here.
They put you in your
How'd you get that leg? How'd you get that on your leg?
Parenting your children differently.
Okay. They don't say nothing. They don't say nothing more. All they do is contact the guidance counselor, and the guidance counselor says, "Bring Javon here." After that, they call you back. They send a police over, and they go through your whole house, and they start the grilling process.
Yeah.
But can I get mad? No. I don't get mad at that, because honestly, there's so much domestic abuse going on to children and people. Honestly, COVID should have been proved that. And I hate when people say, well, that's just a white man getting in my business. Nah, fuck that, because I'm going to tell you right now, our community is infamously known for sweeping under the rug abuse. Infamously known for that. We will praise certain people for certain access or certain things, and damn the other. And I don't want to hear, that's just.
Well, I mean, we gotta take ass whoopings off the table.
No, I just said there's legal ways to do it. That is a legal definition of how you can give corporal punishment. You have to follow within the law.
No, I'm not trying to say beat.
There is a way. See, here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it. No. See, here's the thing about it. If I have to go and use my hand to get to see, the thing about it is, and I've seen these videos where we praise the dad. You know what? Put your hands up, son. Put your hands up. Then he starts punching the boy in the face and starts doggone busting up his eye and his nose and his face. And then we'll say, well, shit, I'm treating him like a man. But I said, then if you treat him like a man, then hold up. You just beat the shit out of a kid. But you treat him like a man. So now he's all busted up. Now he's fucked up. Now you just humiliated him on TV. And so on social media. See, once you put it on social media, it don't come down. But everybody gets to watch. So you know what the boy does? He's gonna go get it to more fight. So okay, so let's use it because you're talking to a one that's already been there. So, like I said, because I know a lot of people that if I literally were to sit here and ask them, has somebody ever abused you in your life? Out of 100 people, I damn sure would know I hit over 70. I would damn sure know I hit over 70 easily. That would be it. I could do those topics for day on and day on and day on. And we know it because we got an attorney here and a therapist, and we all have some people who survived abuse. And I can tell you right now, we doggone turn blind eye to those people and don't say shit.
So hold on, me being devil advocate. So are we saying that ass whoopings don't work?
Yes.
Ass whoopings don't work if that's the only means of parenting. If that's the only and the majority of method of parenting, no, it doesn't work. You have to use ass whoopings along with other interventions. Yeah.
The method of last
resort.
In our community, we just want to whoop ass and not try to do
everything. I can respect everything y'all saying, but when I was coming up, ass whoopings was given out, and ass whoopings made a lot of changes. Where you knew if you did certain things, you would get ass whooping. That's what they did with slaves.
But were you punched in the face?
A lot of people. No, that's what I'm saying. If you take it, that's taking it to the next level.
That's what I'm saying. That's a difference,
ass whipping. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is a difference. That's what I'm saying. So are we saying that we got to take ass whippings off the table?
No, I never said that.
How are you getting it?
Okay.
Hey,
all right.
Can I say this? Hold up. Wait a minute. Can I please say this? I'm so sorry.
Don't take ass whoopings off the table. What I'm saying is that
that's all. That's
Go
all I'm
ahead.
Hold up.
asking. That's all
Hey,
I'm
hold up,
asking.
hold up,
Okay.
hold
All
up.
I'm asking.
People. I am sorry to
Trying to talk.
interrupt.
Mimi trying to
Can
talk. Go
we
ahead, Mimi.
please have one at a time? Can we not cut into
Thank
somebody else's talking point, please? I am trying to hear everybody, and it is very difficult when somebody's trying to explain something, could possibly be agreeing with somebody, but then they're getting cut off because somebody else has something to say, and it turns into a disagreement of some sort or whatever. So can we please just respect the person that's speaking? Pretty please. That's all I'm asking. Pretty
Thank you,
please.
manager.
Thank you.
You
So
got it.
we're joined here by the Hood Conservative. He wanted to speak for the I guess for the father. And like I said, you get 2 minutes. Then after that, we will have responding remarks. I like to hear sometimes why some people agree with these type of things. So go ahead.
Thanks for having me up, and good morning, everybody on the panel. I just wanted to say that the main thing I think he did wrong as far as crossing the line is he should have kept it off the internet. Because it's like they say, you don't want to see how sausage gets made, that sort of thing. Parenting is not pretty sometimes, and you have to discipline your kids in ways that may not get smiles from anybody who's passing by. Does that mean you're abusing your kid? Hell no. There's a far gap between being a little rough with your kid who's actually being rebellious and then actually abusing your kid. It's like we're trying to turn this guy into Ike Turner squared. He is nowhere near that bad of the kind of abuse. It's like you're actually adding to what you saw to make your arguments. He didn't slap her across the face like a pimp. He went upside her head and he shook her around a little bit. Like that wasn't a serious physical attack. He was basically establishing dominance. Look, you're the child. When I tell you to do something as simple as put your hands on your lap, there should be no second thought about it, especially in a situation where you're already in trouble. That's the problem here. We're not dealing with a kid who's being cooperative and they're responding. And so the parents going overboard to a kid who's being completely submissive. It's like, no, this is a wild, rebellious girl. Imagine if that was a 14-year-old boy, like you said, BMT. He would have probably put on a boxing glove and said, oh, you think you a man? You in my house. Let me explain to you how it works to be a man in my house. This is the father-son dynamic. You can't really do that with his 14-year-old girl, and he's not. He's just explaining some power. Like, look, you go out there and acting like this, the way you talk to your dad, you go out there and be like this with these boys. And this is why I said, watch the rest of the video, because he showed her when he jumped and sat on her chest and he's like, you can't move? Oh, you mad you can't move? Well, I'm your dad. Imagine if it was a grown man that don't love you sitting on your chest and you can't move. What the hell are you going to do then? Like you were talking about him explaining lessons and, he should teach her things. Like he was being brutal emotionally to teach her life's brutal lessons. All right. It looks ugly and we should not see it, but she might deserve it. And I'm not going to second guess his daughter in a 30-second clip because God knows what she was really out there doing. Watch the rest of the video. She's out there fucking. She's out there stealing. She's getting into fights with people. This doesn't end well for a 14-year-old girl with no brakes. Somebody's got to put the brakes on her. And if he has to go put the fear of man and God in his 14-year-old daughter, I'm going to turn away and let him do his thing. And I'm not going to call him an abusive parent just for this.
BMT, can I respond to that, BMT? BMT,
I
let me
agree with
respond
the
to this.
no, but I agree. But hold on,
Hold
but
on.
I agree with the I agree with the conservative, and I don't agree with this dude on a regular basis. But I agree what he's saying.
BMT.
Go ahead, y'all got it.
That was the most idiotic fucking statement I ever heard in my life. And if anybody is foolish enough to listen to that nonsense, you're not responsible men. I don't give a damn what you think and about that. I'm telling you what will happen in reality. You can sit on here and say all of this shit about what she deserved and what she didn't deserve, and this and then did you hear the rhetoric this brother just stated? What if he just slapped her in side, just hit her upside the head? Really? Man,
No, but
come on, man.
my question to you,
Hold on, wait. Hold on. When he spoke, nobody said shit. Nobody said a goddamn thing. So I want everybody to give me the same fucking respect. Shit, man. What is wrong with you, dude, man? See, this is why I can't fuck with this space, man. This man hit his daughter upside the fucking head, and you got a grown ass man saying, What if he just did that? So what? What if she did this? What if she did that? Man, this is sickness, man. This is sickness. This and see the thing about it. Are you gonna be the one to go pay his fucking bail when he get charged? Are you gonna be the one to pay his legal fees? Are you gonna be the one to deal with the child when she in fucking foster care and away from her family, and she got to deal with a whole bunch of bullshit and potentially put herself at risk of being abused or sexually abused by a foster parent or somebody else in the state? See, we want to get up here and say all this dumbass shit, but then when you deal with the real consequences of stuff, the reality of what happens, oh, nobody got shit to say about that. Nobody gonna put their resources to work to deal with the real situation. Man, this is ludicrous. Man, this is ludicrous, man. See, this is why I can't have these conversations with these guys, man. Because these guys are looking at shit from a very nonsensical nonsensical ideological standpoint, and they're not being realistic of when this shit happens. What happens in real life? What happens when someone does this and the reality behind this? Okay. Yes.
Is real life.
What CPS will say, CPS don't give a damn what she did. They're looking at the response of the parent. That's why it's called Child Protective Services.
But I'm saying,
they're looking at.
brother. But hold on, brother, for a second.
They understand that children are going to make mistakes and children are going to do irresponsible shit. And that's the point of the parent to be there to do things to deter and correct that behavior. And in no form and fashion will they allow you to physically assault and verbally embarrass your children.
Okay, so let me jump in there, brother.
I'm not really surprised.
Heavy, are you there?
I'm really not surprised because this is the thing, man. It's getting to the point where now that people are being so dismissive of something wrong happening to black females as women.
Okay.
Now they also show the same apathy towards little black girls that grow up to be black women. This is embarrassing, man. This shit is really embarrassing.
Okay.
But I'm done, man. I'm done.
Okay.
Are you there?
Okay, brother. Yeah. Brother, can I ask you a question?
Let me ask Healthy
what
first.
Would you do? What?
Let me ask Healthy. I'm doing a show, Kane. I'm doing a show. Healthy, are you there? But I asked you, Kane, and you said you had nothing to say.
I got it.
Mimi, do you have anything you want to say?
No, I had something to say, but the brother's talking.
Okay.
I can't get a word in. Go ahead, y'all got it, though. Go ahead, y'all got it.
Okay, now you don't have nothing to say.
I want to ask the brother. So, what would you do with your daughter if you had the same situation? You found out your daughter was out there doing whatever she's doing. So, what would you do with your daughter? And when I say that, I'm not saying the internet shit, because I have a problem with them putting it on the internet. But personally, what would you do with your daughter if this is what you found your daughter was out there doing? What would you do? And it's not, like I said, take it off the internet. I don't care what he did on the internet. What he did on the internet was foul. Him trying to shame his daughter on the internet, that was foul. But what would you do personally as a parent dealing with your daughter? And that's the situation that you found out. Your daughter was out there doing whatever she's doing. What would you do?
I think he dropped off for a second.
I'm saying.
No, he dropped off for a second, but this is the problem with the whole. Well, this is my problem with the whole scenario. And one, you guys got to watch the whole thing, because I actually saw this video a couple of weeks ago when it first made like the internet headlines, and yeah, it's shocking to watch. All right, but you know what? Some parts of life are shocking to watch. Not every part of raising your child is an after school special that you can play on TV.
Exactly.
So there are horrible things that your kid may do that you're going to have to deal with as a parent, and people might look at you a certain type of way.
To him, right?
Him who? Yeah, I'm sure CPS got involved, and that's the fucked up part about it, because later on we're going to be like, where are all the good black fathers?
Wait. Why would I call him? Why do I call him a good black father?
No, well, this is my argument. This is my argument. What I was saying is that there's times. Look at the whole video. You must look at the whole video. What do you? No, I'm not saying you aren't. I'm talking just for the sake of the conversation.
So first video, you saw him punch her 2 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
You saw him doing quick jabs to her gut and to her arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you count those. Okay, so that's 2. So a grown man punching a 14-year-old that literally weighs under 100 pounds 2 times. So tell me, how does that play out in society?
In society, it's
No,
going to
I
look the
don't
way
care.
it looks.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
Exactly.
I'm talking to Dave.
But BMT, this is the issue. This is the problem, right? You know how they say, oh, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it also takes a village to take a man's kid away from him.
Now I'm looking at it.
And so when you say, oh, society is going to look at it a certain way, okay, maybe they will, but society is not going to stop her from growing up to be a horrible woman. Society is not going to stop her from the path she's on. Society is going to encourage her to go down that path.
Fact.
He's the only one standing in between her and what society wants, which is more free hoes.
So you're saying, so you're calling her, so hold on, so you got it where so why does he check that that woman on the side, his stepmother, the stepmom?
And look at this dynamic. Look at the dynamic. Where's her mom? Remember, in order for him to have that daughter, her mom is almost a piece of shit. It's almost impossible for men to get their daughter. So what does that say about the mom and the other influences?
No. Let's not go general. Let's look at that right there. No. I don't want you. I'm not doing the circus with y'all. I'm looking at one situation. So we have it where as to man with the stepmother, she's calling her dumb. They're talking all kind of jazz about her. Calling her dumb. Bitch, all that stuff. How is that discipline? Where's the discipline?
That with the mom, with the stepmom and the daughter.
BMT. The stepmother gets the same treatment as a stepfather. They get the same treatment. You're not my mother.
Right. You know they got beef all the time in that house. That girl and that woman is always at each other's throat in that house. That's a part of her rebellion.
That's part of her rebellion. Are you suggesting or you know?
I've had a stepfather. Fuck that nigga. I know what it's like, bro.
Situation right there. Are you suggesting?
Fuck that. I know that for a fact. I know. I'm saying that as I know.
So
yes,
you know
I know.
what? So you saying you know what goes on in that house?
I've been in them type of situations.
So
I don't know everything in that house.
No, fuck that. I know.
Right.
I'm standing on that. I know. I'm standing on that. I know.
Now, I'm with you on that shit too, because I know, listen, when it comes to the stepmother, stepfather dynamic, you are not my real whoever. So your authority, your natural authority over me is missing. And it takes me, like I have to act out with my mom or my dad to really get my shit off, because like you got this unreal person in my life talking shit to me. Like it's a crazy dynamic. It's like it's not supposed to be that way if you got a good stepfather or stepmother, but it just works out like that sometimes. The two people don't get along and the kid's gonna rebel however way they can.
So you're for a fact. And I know that for a fact. So you're for the way how that father was doing to his daughter. Let me just
what I'm saying is generally speaking, I do not want to call him an abuser. I'm not saying he's an abusive father for that. No. I'm not saying he's abusive for that. No.
Okay, so you're agreeing that what he was doing, that was good.
I think it was harsh, and I think we shouldn't see that. But no, I wouldn't want to discipline him. I'm not going to try to discipline him for trying to exercise a little discipline over his child that he has responsibility for making her into a good human being.
The harsh part I look at that BMT.
So that means you're for
online. That's the only harsh part I look at that. Because if you find out your child was doing that, I'm sure you would have handled it similar. But the only thing that you would have took out of that, was putting it online. That's the only part you would have took out of that, was putting it online.
No, because his child is my child.
Exactly.
And we're not going to sit up here and bring up our kids in that type of manner. Our job as parents is to try to raise up our kids the best way that we know how, and to try to guide them in the right way of life. That's it. Not sitting here calling them stupid, not sitting here calling them bitches, not sitting here calling them hoes, niggas, this, that, and everything else. Okay, yeah, you're absolutely right. They can get that shit outside in the street and outside in the real world, whatever. But in the house, they have to learn respect. And in order for them to honestly want to give that, you have to give that. You saying you understand that, but you're sitting here saying you're approving what this man was doing to his child.
But I understand that. So I understand.
Oh, let me address that
listen,
too.
Hold on, wait a second, hold on, real quick, hold on. So if y'all did all of that, that y'all did, that y'all felt it was perfect, and your kids still came back in the house and did what they did. If you did all of that, you taught your child all of that, like, yo, be responsible, don't go for nothing, and they still came home and they still did the same shit that went against everything that you said. How would you?
Wait a minute. Let him finish. Say what you're gonna say.
No, how would you react if all that teaching that you gave your kid? Because we see these type of situations where you taught your kid everything.
Right. You are absolutely right.
Came back and they still did opposite. They did opposite.
From that point on, I can only do the best that I can once that shit took place. So if my daughter was out there and I told her the A, B, and C's of sex and, about pregnancy and about how you can get this and about how you can get that, how it can be great, how it can be pleasurable, how you should wait, how you shouldn't do this, you can get raped, if I teach her all those types of things, and she still decides, you know what, I want to test that shit out still for myself.
Well,
at the end of the day, I can only do but so much. I can't sit here and beat her ass. I can't sit here and stomp her in the ground. I can't sit here and do it because you know what? I did my job. I taught her. I was teaching her. I'm showing her. I'm trying to do what I can as a mother. But if you're still taking your ass out there,
and I respect that.
If you're still going out there to do X, Y, and Z,
Let me go ahead. Hang on, Mimi. Let me get Mimi. When you finish up, I'm going to pass it over to Zardell, and then we got Red Pill Finance. I like hearing y'all mindset of y'all people.
But BMT, I just want to have an answer to Mimi because I just want to have an answer to Mimi because, like she's saying, you did all that, you did everything that you could do.
You agree with that? You riding on your own on that one. You on that one. You on that train alone. Zardell, did you get to
Yes, sir.
see so far the video that I was showing?
Yeah. Man, I guess when it comes down to raising kids, honestly, I don't, to be clear, I have no one, so I have no kids, nobody. If you're going to raise a kid, you should at least raise them up. You should at least raise them up in the right way to do the things right. You're not supposed to abuse them. You're not supposed to put them down or expose them to culture that will be degenerating to their growth or to their mental aptitude, to be honest. I think if you expose kids to that at such an early age, you make them desensitized. You'd honestly make them think that it's normal to do these things when it's absolutely not normal. Like today's society, they're trying to normalize pedophilia, right? So they're going to try to normalize that. The kid's going to think it's okay as an adult to have sex with younger kids. They're trying to pass in a law. I wonder what will happen in the so-called Black community. What will happen when they do pass those laws? Because eventually they will, because the world is going backwards. What will happen? How are you going to guard your wife? How are you going to guard your husband? How are you going to protect your children from these unnatural things? That's my question.
You can't say. But you can't say the world. You can't say the world's going backwards.
Oh, it very much is. And that law means that father can't go out and be the pedophile for touching his kid.
So, hang on. So
you can't say the world's going backwards. It's saying because we see in these spaces.
Y'all detracted into another conversation. We're talking about abuse this month. This is abuse.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, in general, they're normalizing abuse too. So abuse can come in different forms: physical, verbal, and emotional. And it's so normalized in the Black community that it's just people just do it on a daily basis, not even thinking secondhand to it or the consequences thereof. Luckily, I'm not married. I'm not with anybody, but I'm sitting back and watching a lot of this stuff. I've seen it. I've been through the abuse. I've came close to getting married, and I went through that abuse. So it's like you don't want any of that stuff. It's not right. I came through abuse from people, friends, family. It's not good. I've had it from younger age to now. So that's all I really got to say on that one.
So let me pass it on to Red Pill Man. Go ahead, Red Pill Man. I saw you down chat. I want to get out my stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, what it do, man? Yeah, I was just sitting back, just taking everything in from what everybody was saying, and I kind of agree with everybody, but to a certain point, I really don't feel like. Hold on, I want to get like the context because I came in like right when the video started. So, what was the reason why he was doing all that?
What was the
I
reason?
tell you, it came out later on in the video. That's when they was yelling at her and berating her. They started, she's stealing from people. She's out there fucking. And like, dude, you got to watch the video. The pops was going in. He was saying a lot of shit. But like, the girl was wrong, bro. The girl is way out there.
So let's go. So y'all want to further up into the video?
I mean, we might as well just finish it, to be right. It's kind of harsh, you know what I'm saying? But you do got to get disciplined sometimes. Like, it depends. It don't bother me. It is what it is. It already happened.
Y'all right now, if I play the video and y'all start talking during the video, I'm just gonna drop your ass down. Y'all better learn how to have some restraint, like you in the movie theater. If we playing this goddamn video, have some restraint.
Play that goddamn video, BMT. Play that video.
Like I said, a lot of people got a lot of stuff to say.
Hearing.
I'm just not in the mood today. Oh, motherfucker's annoying as fuck now, man. So we're 333. Damn it, 335. All right, so let me go ahead and play.
You can't do shit.
What you gonna do?
You can't
What you
do
gonna
shit.
do? What the fuck you gonna do? Yeah.
No.
You ain't no fucking gangster now. You ever put your goddamn hands on me, I'm gonna fuck your ass up.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Take me again. You wanna fight?
Now what? Now what? Now what? Where you going? You think you can handle yourself? What you gonna do with me?
This is how out of control Trinity
What you
is.
gonna do with me?
This is how out of control she is.
What you grown? What you grown? What you grown? I'll go to jail about you. You see that? What you gonna do when a man do this? You think you can handle yourself out here in these streets? It's cool to run away? It's cool to run away? Yeah, breathe. 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 What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You can't go nowhere, right? Would you rather be somebody else? Would you rather be somebody else? Huh?
No.
So why are you running away? Because what? Because you can handle yourself?
She swear her life is so hard, but she don't want to listen to nobody. That's her problem. She don't get her way, she run away. She do fuck shit.
You think somebody coming to stay with you? You better call on Jesus. You better call on Jesus. That's how it feels when you can't do nothing about it, but sit there and take it. You want that feeling coming from another man? So why the fuck are you running away? Why are you talking to random people on the internet that you don't fucking know? I sent a little nigga in your inbox, and I was about to have your ass set up, and I was gonna come out with the pistol and tie your ass up and throw you in the trunk, and you wake up in the motherfucking hotel room wondering where the fuck you at. So, oh, you don't like my sweat? You don't like my sweat? You think you can handle yourself?
No.
You can't even get yourself, so why the fuck are you running away? Why are you disrespecting people that take care of you? Why are you disrespecting people that take care of you? Why are you disrespecting people that take care of you? You can't do shit for yourself. You can't do shit. You are though. You see how that feels? When you can't even control yourself, as hard as you want to be, you can't do shit. You can't do shit but sit there and take it. You can't do shit but sit there and take it. Yeah, just breathe. Take deep breath.
So I have to stop it. Kev, thank you for that. I do have to preface the video for disturbing because I do know YouTube.
Okay, I get it. I get why people feel disturbed by that.
Okay. You were for that type of energy. So let's be for real.
No, hold on. Yes, I am. Hold on. Yeah. Go ahead. You got it, bro.
Okay.
You got it.
You already walked in. You on daddy's side, so stay on daddy's side. You don't come back on our side. You on daddy's side, so stay on there. Over there.
Okay.
Over there.
Okay. No doubt. I'm gonna get to the chopper. I'm on the chopper doing the flyby. I'm on the chopper doing the flyby.
I want y'all to understand that nigga would definitely be registered as sexual abuse right there. That's sexual abuse 120%.
I was about to say that.
They ain't shit.
I have to be honest though, like I would do that though, like
come on,
not really all that.
This is bad.
What do you think happens to 13-year-old runaways? No. What happens to a runaway, bro? What happens to a runaway at 13?
He just
What happens to a runaway at 13, bro?
To keep it a buck with you.
These are black dudes. Hey.
No.
I mean, me
that little
personally,
girl
I don't
wanna
think
run
I would
away
do that, but I see why he did that.
She want to run away at 13. This is what you're going to have to deal with one day. A grown man that you can't get on, that you can't get away from. Daddy trying to warn you. Daddy trying to warn you. A grown man that you can't fight off is going to be on top of you one day, and daddy won't be there to save you. What are you going to do then, stupid?
So, okay. So
I have to agree with this.
right now.
So,
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Once we got the context,
I justify that.
Because y'all
justifying the lesson. The lesson need to be taught. The lesson need to be taught to a 13-year-old runaway. That's what you want to play with. That's the other side of that door. That's on the other side of that door. That wasn't breaking her body. That was breaking her spirit. You need to break that whole spirit. If she got that whole spirit in her, it needs to be exercised.
Wait. I gotta start. I'm about to start muting y'all. Let's start off with Kane. You get your 1 minute in. Then I'm going to conservative. And I'm going to red pill, and I'm going to leave it to Jardel. Y'all are very interesting people. Go ahead, King.
BMT, I agree with that to the fullest. He's dealing with his daughter. And he's showing his daughter. But if you was in the situation, that's all he's doing. And it seems aggressive to the people looking in the window. We all peeping in the window, and it seems like something foul. But nobody is paying attention to what he's saying. Like, if you are in a situation like this, you want to be out here a fast little, we talking about a 14-year-old, 13-year-old. If you want to be out here and being fast, messing around with dudes, this is a situation that you might end up in. A dude over you, holding you down. You can't do nothing. He's showing her, like, yo, this is man strength. This is man strength. If I'm holding you down, there's nothing you could do. You are getting raped. This is a rape situation that he's showing her. But he's showing his daughter what would happen if you out here want to be fast. If you were 13, 14, you out there messing around with a dude that's older than you, this is the situation that you might end up in. That's what he's showing his daughter. I have nothing is wrong about what I'm seeing right now because he's dealing with a daughter that's out there fast. Like I'm saying,
like I said, we shouldn't see it.
Any dude that's out here that has a daughter, what are you going to tell your daughter when you find out your daughter is doing this type of shit? How are you going to react? All that I'm gonna be nonchalant about it. That's just bullshit. I know dudes that.
Bro, can we one more thing? One other thing I want to put to this about the whole spirit thing. Listen. Your daughter needs to understand daddy don't want you to be a hoe. Daddy's not going to love you if you're out here hoeing. That's a tough lesson, but that needs to be in her fucking mind. Because you know what? He can't beat her like forever. You can't beat your kid into an adult and they'll be fine. Like at a certain point, the lesson needs to be in your head. If I go out here hoeing, I lose my father's respect.
Can I say something?
Look, let Red Pill Finance go. Red Pill Finance.
all right, everybody's saying this is kind of like abuse, but he literally giving her an example of what happened when she'll get raped. So everybody talk about sex trafficking and all this, but he literally said he would have kidnapped her and did all that to her. So this is what would happen to her if she come in that situation. So this was actually necessary for her to learn this.
Red Pill, you caught that part, right? She's on the phone
Yeah,
setting up dates, and she
setting
got
up
fucking
dates with older
catfished by her
men.
dad. She got catfished by her dad
And
because
y'all
she out
talk
there
about
setting
sex
up dates
trafficking
with
and
older
all that. You
niggas.
know what I'm saying?
But then it's gonna be where the black fathers at. We not
Right.
protected. She getting
Exactly.
protected like a motherfucker. Turn your head and let her be protected.
Okay, you're
It's
right.
tough. You need tough love out here, man.
All right, go ahead, Zardell. You got.
I'm gonna say this and then go, so it's gonna take a little bit. Man, there's so many different avenues of teaching children how to get things done and do things right. That was no justification for that. I understand that it's supposed to be a father's protection, but you got so many ways to protect your child. You got ways you can set up VPN, you can set up databases, you can set up things that can filter messages. You have apps that block out certain websites. You have cameras. You have different things that can track down your own child. You don't have to put your knee on someone else's chest, especially a 14-year-old's chest. Yes, you can break their body if you're twice their weight. It's called pressure. The thing is that you not only just mentally scarred this child, but you probably set up some future problems for yourself and for her in the future. Now this is posted all over the internet. You probably killed her future career. You probably done a lot of things that could break up your own family. And you wonder why we got so many issues in the black community. Look in the mirror. This is exactly why you have your issues. This is exactly why. You have no excuses. There's no excuse. There is no justification for this. None. Bar none. This is embarrassing. This is just vile and physically disgusting. I don't care what the kid did. If the kid was wrong, there's different ways and methods of discipline. You wonder why other communities are doing much better than you? Look in the mirror. I'm out of here, BMT.
All right, bro.
I want to say something.
You ever heard of honor killings? Don't talk to me about other communities. Honor killings happen in other communities. Fathers don't play that shit in other communities. These Muslim dudes go to jail for killing their daughters.
This is America. We are in America,
I know.
bro.
You're talking
We
about
are in
other
America.
communities
We
in
don't do
America.
honor
This
killings.
happens in
There's
America.
methods, there's different
This happens in America.
discipline.
This happens in America, bro.
This is
This
America.
happens in America, in American
Dude,
communities.
you're just an abusive man. That's all you are. Just say it what it is.
I'm
You're
not
an abusive man that
abusive,
likes
dude.
abusing.
This is not
Then why
not
are you
abuse. See,
justifying
this is the
Why
whole
are you
thing.
justifying
Man,
this?
Why are you trying to make him an abusive man?
Knee
Why
on
are
your
you
chest
trying to
and
make
do
him an
the exact same
abusive
thing that they
man?
did to that girl. Let's do that to you. Let's see how you
Dude,
react.
I'm already a grown up. I'm already a grown
All right,
up.
but
When I
let's
was
get another
14 years
grown up twice your size
hold on. When I was, bro,
You
when I
talking
was
all this
14 years old,
big bad yin yang stuff. What if I put my knee on your chest and put a gun to your head?
Listen, bro. You got to understand.
No, there
When
ain't
I
no
was 14
understanding,
years
bro. I
old,
draw the line.
let me respond. Let me respond then. Since you don't understand, I'll just respond. When I'm 14 years old, my dad would have took my head off. My dad at 14, he was not hearing none of that shit. You see how rebellious she is? See how she kicking and all that? My dad's not going for that dumb shit. Get the fuck out of here. And you know what? He would have been right too, because I didn't act up with my dad. And my parents never had to go that far with me, because I knew there's only so far out of line you get, or you're going to get dealt with. And that's the problem here, that nobody has boundaries anymore, because when a man tries to establish boundaries over his kid, the whole world is on his back.
So you think that's establishing boundaries?
It looks bad, but like I said, let that man be. Let that man be.
Hold on.
I am not. Y'all done got me fucked up. If y'all think I'm gonna argue with y'all take y'all asses to y'all fucking panels. Y'all own damn show. BMT don't be playing this game shit. Y'all can get the fuck on for today. I told y'all, I don't fucking play these games. I don't. Y'all can sit your asses down there. We just watched a man put his crotch in his chest on a little 14-year-old girl. And y'all were like, that's being a man. We're in what fucking religion were y'all or culture were y'all talking about that they do this in? So how do you discipline a boy? Do you hold your son down and bend him over and start dry humping him? Is that what y'all do? Y'all do down? Is that what y'all do now? Is that how y'all teach y'all son about, predators? Y'all really fucked up. Y'all proved it. Y'all definitely proved it. I mean, we already saw yesterday, but y'all literally broke the internet with today. But I would wonder, how would you teach your son about rape? Do you tie him up and bend him over? Huh? Y'all do know these two are in jail, right? But y'all willing to blame society for doing that. I'm glad. Actually, people were so disturbed, people were calling the police and making sure that she was still alive during that. She's actually doing pretty good. There's actually a thing called the Trinity helpline that's actually helping her get mental therapy. Fucked up, man. Oh, wait, but the dad needs to be a dad. Man, get the fuck out of here. The mom was doing what she could as a stepmother. The mom and both of them are locked up. I see why abuse is so rampant in this motherfucker, man. Y'all done praised that shit to a motherfucking death cult. Y'all do. This is why, with older women and going out on dates, this is why doggone girls be running the street, dropping their drawers for grown-ass men, calling other men daddy. This is why men be having mommy issues and be beating on other fucking women. This is why women be beating on their kids, taking that issue out on their doggone children, but y'all doggone normalize this shit. And I can understand why nobody these days really wants to ever fuck. Because they're like, fuck that. I came from a home that was hell on earth. Why the fuck would I ever want to get into that shit again? No, that's fair, Zardell. But see, when I was watching people, yeah, SKC, we already clapping at that now. I sent you an email, you didn't show up, so you ain't gonna come up and talk about it, or you ain't gonna do content on it. Hey, bro, you ain't gonna talk about it. Don't just do it out of convenience. Because anywhere else, we praise men for going on dates with cougars. Y'all remember the movie Juice? Y'all remember Boosie? We're not gonna pretend like there wasn't a chat that in this space where we saw men doggone talking about at least Boosie don't want his son to be gay. So he bought her a prostitute, got his dick sucked. We just had it yesterday. A woman went out on a date with a 15-year-old. We all jumping at that? No, you're right. You're right. I ain't sugar. Nobody praised her. Let me know when y'all start to do content on sexual abuse. Thank you for Thank you for being honest, V-Dub. If you want to come up, we could talk on that. Because see, I know a lot of teenage boys that were in a relationship with older women. You think anybody was demonizing or trying to call them women out? Nope. They would say, "Nah, you a man now." It's not. They don't even take it like that's abuse. They take that's a badge of honor. Now y'all can come up, but if y'all start doggone arguing again, I'm gonna drop y'all down this time. I'm gonna drop y'all asses down. Y'all can come up and talk as adults. You get 1 minute replies. If that's how you think, I can't tell David how to be an adult and raise his kid. I can't tell Zardell. I can't tell Kane. But I want y'all to understand that's your fuckery, not mine. That's your fuckery. What y'all do is we're going to see which kids come out on top. Because at the end of the day, your works are going to show. I don't got to worry about my kids and this doggone bullshit. Y'all do. If y'all ain't going to talk, and see, that's the thing about it. A lot of people like just showing up for the dysfunctional problem. But when I ask about show me your content on actually calling out certain shit, quiet. Motherfuckers miss me with that damn bullshit. So y'all can miss me with that shit. Some of y'all have to give a fuck. So we're going let's start that again. Go ahead, David. Go ahead. Okay, David's not saying that. Go ahead, Kane. You got a minute.
Now, where we at? Where we taking off from? If we want to go back to what the father did, I have no problem. I have no problem with. Go ahead. Say what you're saying, BFT. My bad.
No, I'm gonna give a synopsis. We had a woman on here that was going on a date with a 15. Do we really demonize that in this community?
No, and honestly, it should be called out a lot more too.
Hold on. No, actually, we don't. And I was in the chat box when you had that show going on with the chick, and I heard what she was saying. I could take what she's saying as some bullshit. I'm not gonna do that to her, but we cannot act like when it comes to black males, especially black males is taught something differently when they growing up. Because when I was coming up, if you was to get an older chick, you was popping. In my era, I don't know what's going on in this era. In this era, people act like they have something wrong with that. Like they look at it like, no, but you have
it
kids.
Still happen. NBA young boy got his baby mama's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I grew up in the era. I grew up in my era that I grew up. I couldn't speak on my era. I don't know what's going on besides that, but 13, 14, 15, you know what sex is. And if you get an older chick, it's all about the sex. It ain't about how old she is. It's I'm getting sex. And this is how a lot of young black kids is taught. A lot of black kids is taught. You get some sex. That's like a rites of passage. Like I'm getting popping. We don't look at it. When it comes to males, with females it might be something different. But when it comes to males, it's like we getting it popping.
Okay.
That's kind of a tricky subject too, because like I think you do have to navigate. You have to teach your kids, your boys and your girls, to navigate the world differently. Because and I don't know if it's just me. I think society seems to agree that a 25-year-old man and a 15-year-old girl. No one ever wants to have that. But a 25-year-old woman and a 15-year-old boy, people would kind of look the way for the most part. Like they would kind of look the other way a little bit, and I think there's a good reason for that. It's hard to explain, but it feels more predatory to have an older, like a grown man sleeping with a teenage girl. And I don't mean because I got daughters and I don't want to see my daughters like with some grown man, but it just like feels viscerally different. And I don't know how to really explain that in like a logical way, but it just does.
Like like I said, I'm thinking now we're cutting into it. Now we're cutting into some. We're starting to stir some meat sauce with this pasta. You know what I'm saying? So I knew we could get here as men. I knew we could get it. It's not easy. I knew we just had to disperse it, but I knew we could get to it. So when a lot of people were saying BMT felt like you should have got at her, I'm like, it's kind of hard to, because in the society that we live in, and I'm talking about society of man, it's looked at and viewed differently than how it is. Granted, it's wrong. It's wrong, but however, we've seen it so many times. I can't lie and say I have not grown enough. Like for me, I'm never gonna let my son date an older woman. I wouldn't let that happen because I know that's him being indoctrinated into her. He can't. There's no way he can dominate that. She has more time and experience in the belt to outmaneuver him. So when you have it, a young female, a young fawn, she's going to be more impressionable to what. I ain't never heard no young girl dominating no grown ass 28-year-old or 38-year-old man. I ain't never seen that shit in my life. But we do know that doggone, like I said, we do know as a woman getting with a young child or going out on a date, that's something mentally wrong with that. There's something mentally wrong with that woman. And I will never forget when we saw in society, there was a movie on USA. It was a white woman that kept dating and getting pregnant by that Hispanic boy. See, to be honest, a lot of men in our community, a lot of the mother of their children are older than them. Y'all don't believe me? Go look at it. A lot of men in the urban community, a lot of their kids' mothers are older than them. That's scary, huh?
But then can I speak
Is that
on
hard
this?
to believe?
Can I speak on this, BMT? Can I speak? But
You
can I
can go
speak
ahead
on this,
and I'll pass.
BMT? This is why they have. This is why they have double standards out there. Because a dude could always date up when it comes to age. Like a dude could always date an older chick, but when it comes to females, they can't date an older chick. This is why we have. This is why that word was created. Double standards, and it happens. These are things that happen in life. You have certain people that this is what they do. You have certain dudes. You hear it in this space where dudes is talking about they want a younger chick when they're a dude of a certain age. They want a younger chick, and the same thing goes on for males. At a certain point in males' life, they want an older chick. That's what I'm saying. This is why that word was created, and this is something we have to deal with.
Well, I think
when
the
it comes
double
to
standard.
morals for certain people. Go ahead, you got it.
My God,
You
I
got
didn't
it,
want
bro. Go
I
ahead.
didn't want to cut you off. No, I was just gonna say I think that when
Nah,
it
you
comes
got
to
it.
the
You
double
got it.
standard, when it comes to the double standard, it's coming from a different kind of place too. And then, like I said, I think this is something more like base and visceral, just in human nature. So, like, if a young boy, and I don't mean like a boy, but like, if a teenage boy, 17, 16, or he's sleeping with an older woman, his exchange for the most part with her is like sex, and let's just be honest, we don't value our sex the way women do. Like we fuck a lot of women, we probably will regret not fucking later on. It's just a thing for us. We don't really value it in the same way, and I don't know that a man being sexually promiscuous has the same psychological effects as a woman being sexually promiscuous. Like there's a whole
No,
lot of
that's a
study
fact.
to back up this argument. So, for example, if you're a
That's a fact.
sexually promiscuous 14-year-old girl, what does that do to your odds of actually pairing off with a guy for the long term when you want to get to that point of having a family and then now you're supposed to be a good girl, but you've been hoeing around since 14. And I think it's a different game when it comes to the male mind. And call me what you want to call me, but I'm pretty sure there's some documented research to back this up. The female psychology reacts different to the sexual encounter than the male does.
I think the DNA is held in there for
No,
like maybe
the
like a
brother
couple
is
days, something
absolutely
like that.
correct.
Yeah, he right though. He right.
So let me go pass it over. I want to talk about how pedophiles is viewed in our community.
Hey, BMT.
Yes. Go ahead.
Before you get to that point, I want to answer what they just said. For the promiscuity between male and female fornication is promiscuity. It actually reacts the exact same way. You're both human. If you're leaving yourself to other partners and multiple partners, it presents itself the same problems, just in different forms. It's the exact same thing. It's biology. It's the way it is. It's spirituality. As a Christian, for me, if I had multiple partners and I have left my seed in multiple women, which I didn't, then it'll present itself the same way. Because if you've done it since the age of 14, if both male and female did it from the same age of 14 on forward, knowing right from wrong, there's going to be problems. I think that honestly, it will probably be the same problem. You're not husband material and you're not wife material. It's just the same. I don't understand, I'm still kind of hung up on it, is that, let me be clear. Did you guys say the father is justified in this situation? Not you, Banty, but the rest of y'all. For showing their daughter what the real world is like. You guys said
I mean, it was
good
really
job?
harsh, but I mean, me personally, I don't think I would have went that extent. But that's on him. But it's tough love, so I mean,
So
it's better than
that's
no
tough love for
parents
you.
than out here. Cause everybody like, oh, there's no parents out, single mothers out here that got no fathers. So I mean, he is trying to teach her a lesson. So it's tough love. You feel me?
What about the rest of y'all?
Yeah, it is definitely tough love. That's what I'm saying. The only reason we have a problem because there's a video. They did a video behind it. That's why we have a problem.
There's multiple videos.
For the most part, that's the way it works. That's the way it
There's
works.
multiple videos of women doing the exact same
you have
thing.
to be hard.
I think everybody here have a story
No,
when
but
they
that's
was
what
a
I'm saying.
kid and got
That's because that's the time we living in. The time we living in is where everybody want to do a video. Everybody wants to do a video right now. That's the time we live in.
Okay.
That's just what it is.
All right.
We live in that era where everybody want to put a video out there. But that's the way you handle those type of situations. When you handle those type of situations, if you have kids, that's what you're gonna do.
So you humiliate your. So you guys think it's normal to humiliate your child and put your private family business out?
No, I would have never put it on the internet.
I think we're all against that part. Yeah, we're all against the public side of it.
Them,
but you're not against the fact that the father did what he just did.
The humiliating.
I feel like he kind of went
part
too far,
becomes.
but
They made a video. The only reason
you do realize that's a pedophile act, right?
Is because it's a video. No, the only reason
what the father did was pedophiliatic.
No, the only reason.
He put his crotch in the child's chest.
Brother.
I'm not your brother.
No, the only reason we feel like they went too far is because it was something that was seen where everybody could see it.
Okay, so let me go ahead and get.
Let me say something.
Let me go ahead and get it. Super Mike. Super Mike is here. Super Mike, I know you've been watching a lot of this stuff, and I know you've done seen the video. You heard everybody. I'm gonna give you your time. Go. You get your 4 minutes. Go ahead, brother.
Right. I mean, I only watched the other because I'm at work, so I only watched it when I had the 14-year-old sitting in the chair, and the mother and the father were slash discipline abusive discipline. And what I want to say is this here, that we're part of the problem here because you're attacking these parents. You have to think about what's in the, and let me tell you why. Because we have to look at what is the intention. What's the intention of these parents? Do they actually believe that they're trying to help their kids? or do they really or intentionally trying to destroy this child? Now, what they're doing is destroying the child because it is abuse. But in their mind, they seem to think that they're helping their child. And this means that that child is going to end up being an abuser as well because they actually think, so
They're
that's what I'm saying.
desensitized.
We have to stop the cycle because people literally believe in the stuff that they're saying. You hear it all on YouTube. We heard it all, throughout this conversation. People can sit here and come up with all kind of reasons, and they literally believe the stuff that they're saying. And so, these things mathematically end up creating damage, less successful type people, and that's the results we got to focus on. You got to focus on the results of what this stuff is doing. These parents psychologically breaking down their children. That has to be proven to them parents and show those parents that there's a better message, right? And at the same time, you do have to enforce the law. So there's two things that always have to come. You have to show people more effective methods at making their children competitive in life and disciplining them. And then at the same time, though, you do have to put measures in, because you can't just send everybody to Child Protective Services because they get raped and abused there too, because this is an abusive society. So that's all I pretty much want to say is like, if you don't have any kind of empathy or trying to have some type of solution for those parents, then you're just going to keep the cycle because obviously they were abused. I mean, because the mama's sitting there co-signing it, dad believes it,
There are solutions. It's just people don't want to follow them. I think that's just indicative to American society. For me as a Christian, the Bible says in Ephesians 6:1 and 2, it says, "Fathers, provoke not your children unto wrath, but raise them in the admonition of the Lord." Well, what these parents just did is just
the person who said you're not my brother?
Yes.
Are you the person who said, okay, so why would anyone listen to you? You see what I'm saying? Because you're not
So now are you justifying pedophilia? So you're justifying pedophilia based on what I just said. Yes, you are. That's a straw man, sir.
Wow, that was a low blow.
That's a straw man argument,
sir. You see how they invalidate themselves? You see how they invalidate themselves because they talk.
So you're trying to invalidate the truth that I just gave you because you want to justify abuse children. All right, I see what camp you're in, buddy. I see what camp you're in.
I'm saying that if
you're a pedophile, I see what camp you're in, buddy. I see you're part of the problem.
To listen to you.
Part of the problem.
Are you just trying to talk because you may be saying the truth?
Dude, you're saying a lot of words without saying anything. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm talking to you, not at you. You're talking and just not saying anything.
I'm trying to actually communicate with you. I'm saying, do you want people to actually listen to you, or are you just saying the truth?
So you're justifying the fact that you don't want to listen to facts and truth because I said I'm not your brother. I don't even know you from a can of paint, bro.
Well, I'm asking, do you?
At this point, if you want to justify the pedophilia, that's on you, and I'm clearing my name from this. I'm clearing my name from this. This is the problem with the black community. This is the exact problem with the black community. This is the exact problem with the black community. Y'all justifying abuse.
Can we draw a line somewhere? Can we stop for a second and draw a line somewhere? I could understand that this might be a physical abuse or an emotional abuse, but you're hitting them with this capital P word that's way across the line.
Exactly.
This is ridiculous.
So you're saying the father's crotching the child's chest is not pedophilia, like?
This was not a sexual scene. This was dominance and aggression, but this was aggression. This was not a sexual scene whatsoever.
They're already in jail.
The court is crazy. That's the problem. The courts can be crazy. The courts can be crazy, and the courts want to take a father from his daughter.
Pause. Let me ask.
Yeah, they got to fight this shit, and this is a problem too.
Okay, so you're gonna have a hard time, and Topaz, come on up here, dear. You're gonna have a hard time telling anybody else.
For all those that say that this.
No, I'm talking. You're gonna have a hard time telling anybody else that literally, mind you, he had no problem spitting on her. He had no problem.
He didn't spit on her.
Oh, she did
He
say
was sweating on
That
her.
was sweat, bro, sweat.
Okay,
Said he was
sweating on her, doing all that stuff.
He said it.
They're
Said
going
it
to
in
be
the video.
registered child sex offenders.
How
I
do
guarantee
you
you that in the
explain
case. They're going to get
any of
prosecuted.
No, they're not. No, they're
I
not.
know
You
it
can't.
looked
There
bad.
is no stacked arguments in the prosecution.
It looked bad.
They did get prosecuted. They did get prosecuted. They got prosecuted.
Right, they fucked
There was
themselves
no
up.
way.
That's the problem. It all looks bad.
Recorded.
It all looks
No
bad.
snitching.
No, they got
You guys are
prosecuted. They got
justifying it,
prosecuted.
though.
They
That's
got
the problem.
no.
You guys are
I
justifying
can
it.
accept,
BMT.
bro. I can
Hold
accept
on,
how it looks.
BMT, wait a second.
Y'all go to this Harper.
They got
It's amazing
prosecuted
to me.
because this is the era that we live in. This is the era that we live in. If you want to put something on video,
It doesn't justify actions. Doesn't justify the means, sir. Actions does not justify the means.
Wait, hold up. You're saying
Y'all
because
act
we
like
live in an era.
Wait a
where
second.
now
For all you, hold on, BMT. For all you brothers that saying that y'all against this, what would you do? I want to hear what y'all would do if you done spoke to your daughter, gave her 1,000,001 speeches, and you did all of that. What would you do?
Now she's fighting and kicking back at you. Now she's willing to fight you off.
Girl is 14.
I'm gonna answer your question at the end of
Linking
mine.
with dudes?
So your son is out there. No. Kane, let me ask you. So your son is out there being sexual. You gonna go hold him down and bend him over to teach him about?
Well, for one,
justifying it.
No. If your son's fighting you,
Kane, you gonna go ahead and do that? You gonna hold him down and bend him over?
I can't even hear the question. I didn't hear the question. Because everybody's talking at one time. I can't hear the question.
Okay, so Kane, so if your daughter was out there, if your son was out there in those streets talking to adult people, you gonna go hold him down and bend him over? Huh? You gonna emasculate him?
It depends on what the situation is.
So you're gonna bend your son over?
Come on, man.
Whoa, get to the chopper, bro. Get to the chopper. Let me man the gun. Let me man the machine gun for you. Let me man here we go. This is what you do, BMT. This is BMT. No, BMT. Let me jump in. Let me take the question real quick. Here's the problem. Let me take the question. Let me take the question.
They're pedophiles.
Let me take the question. Here's the problem. When it comes to your son, BMT, no. Let me take it right here. When it comes to your son being abused, you're raising a man. The defense to him being abused is you teach him to be a fucking man. You teach him to be willing to kill a motherfucker that's after him. You cannot teach your daughter to be a warrior the way you can teach your son. It don't work the
putting your
same.
crotch in a child's chest is being a warrior. You fucking
No.
idiot.
We're answering two different questions right now. Hold on. BMT asked the question about if you're teaching your son about getting abused, about some sexual abuse.
BMT
you don't teach your son
gave you a rope and a bucket and a tree to hang yourself off of.
You don't teach your sons the same lessons about sexuality that you teach your daughter.
It is.
No, I don't teach my son the same sexuality lessons. No.
Let people talk.
Let me ask you a question.
One at a time. Let people talk.
Let me ask you a question.
Let people talk.
Go ahead, Red. So I'm throwing that.
You got it, bro.
Out
you
there,
got it.
Out there.
Ask your question.
Well, no, Kane. I'm just saying because I don't agree with what you just said, but I'm trying to find what to you is a situation where it would justify what BMT said. What is some type of scenario that would justify that?
Justify what? When you say that, justify what? Because when we talk about males and females, you gotta treat both situations differently. So when you say male,
BMT said
male or
if your
female,
son was out there, he said if your son was out there going off and doing crazy sexual stuff, would you bend him over?
Dang, man, y'all fell for it.
No, I won't bend him over. No, I won't bend him over.
Y'all fell for it.
That's what I was just trying to get at.
I'm gonna check him. I'm gonna check him and give him a real conversation.
These questions are terrible, bro.
Guys, he just hung y'all.
That's what it sounds like.
He just hung y'all to dry. That's the exact same question the court will ask you. Yeah, it is.
No,
I don't think.
I'm going to check my son, and if my son want to
Whoa,
get aggressive,
let's
if my son want to
hold
get
on, hold on, hold
aggressive,
on.
because in the video, hold on, but in the video we saw what happened with the little girl. The little girl was trying to get aggressive. She didn't accept what her parents were saying, and she wanted
So
to get
she got
aggressive.
aggressive. You
What
put
about a
it
boy
in
out
her
there in the
chest?
street running
Okay.
around?
Okay.
So you have it where a boy, your son is out there in the street running around with other boys, and we know in a lot of these gangs they get pretty effeminate. So your son's out there dropping it, you know what I'm saying, got his pants sagging, running around with other niggas, doggone answering to other grown men and stuff like that. You gonna go patronize your
BMT,
son and
hold on. I reject this whole thing.
Hand or something.
Y'all moving the
Hold on,
goalposts. There's a
BMT.
lot of goalposts moving. There's a lot of goalposts moving. There's a lot of goalposts moving. I don't know where y'all coming with. That question is a lot of goalposts moving.
BMT, let's take the issues separately, all right? If your son is growing up to be gay, if your son is growing up to be gay, that's a completely different issue. I don't know how to handle that. I would suggest you tread carefully, don't abandon them, but I don't know how to encourage that shit either. So I don't know what to advise you on that if your son's turning out to be gay. But if your son's going into the streets, that's a different kind of problem. That's a different kind of world.
That's
You're
not what
trying to
BMT just
conflate.
asked you guys.
He just said some shit about gay gangs, bro. He just tried to describe a gay gang.
I don't know what's going on.
That was a low
This motherfucker is really going to the moon today.
He keeps giving you the bucket and the rope, and he's hanging you with it.
BMT not making no sense though.
He just described a gay street gang
right now.
He's making 100%.
I don't know what question y'all asking.
Yo, if your son winds up in the gay bloods, I don't know what to tell you.
Now, hold.
I don't even know where that came from. I don't even know where that came from. I don't know what y'all talking about right now.
Y'all don't see. Oh, let me get this straight. So y'all don't see what the father's doing to the daughter as sexual abuse. But if a man were to hold down his son and say, "What you gonna do if a grown man pins you down on the ground?" Y'all don't see that as sexual abuse, or y'all say that's him?
No, it's still not sexual abuse. It's still not sexual abuse, bro. He's teaching them about fighting.
Another one. Y'all just hung yourself.
Y'all are dumb.
Y'all are dumb, man. Y'all are so dumb.
Look. Hold on. Take it frame by frame. If a father pinned his son down just like that,
it's the same exact thing.
Y'all act like
frame by frame. Right. You act like he pulled out his joint, like y'all being real extra. All he did was pin him down. All he's doing is pinning him down.
And you hung yourself.
All he's doing is pinning him down and proving a point. You cannot handle what you're fucking with.
That's not sexual abuse.
No, he's proving that you cannot handle what you're fucking with.
List you go. You're justified by
slow down for a second.
You will be on the sex offender list. I will see it in the future.
Can y'all slow down?
Let me give a scenario here.
Hold on, fellas, hold on.
Hang on, hold on. Let's listen, y'all. Thank y'all. I have to go to lunch. You guys, I love y'all. I do. Counseling saves lives. Take your children to counseling. Talk to them. SKC, I would bring you up, but I know you ain't gonna have nothing really to say about anything. You're not gonna say anything about building, so there's no point in me bringing you up. So, other than that, real abuse problem going on in the community. We do. But don't worry. Abuse month. I got more shows coming up. Email me. I'm going to do more shows. Okay. Email me if y'all want in. But make sure y'all have some conversations. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Thank you.